Press on.
Time
Yeah,
anyway.
that one looks just fine to me.
All right, and we're here.
Hello, and welcome to another evening of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Um,
On the air.
if you are new with us, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you can join in the live chat. A couple of our members hop in there every so often, and if other people are watching live, then you guys can chat it out. Go for it. Be sure to check out our website, dndaddjokes.com, as well, as that has a lot of information on like where we're going to be, what conventions we're going to be at. The only one we have in there right now is Chicago Steampunk Expo. So if you're going to be in the Chicago area, check us out. Come say hi to us. We're going to be there all weekend long. And you can go to our website at upcoming events to click on the link to go directly to Chicago Steampunk Expo website to get all the information about tickets, hotels, locations, things like that. So check that out. We don't have anything else listed in there just yet, though we have several conventions that we are getting ready to put in for and see what kind of games we're going to be running and things like that. So keep an eye on that. That will change over time. You can also go in there if you're new with us. As you probably see in the episode, this is episode 105. So if you want to catch up, you can go in there and go into the God's Challenge campaign and
Almost
read.
all.
Yeah, and
The
read
other
the
104.
right. Almost all of the 104 are in there. I have up to 103. Um, so go in there and you can read up on the town criers, which are summaries of our adventures. So you can catch up that way.
And some of you are surprised we can count to 105.
Sometimes.
I can't.
That's what I use Excel for.
I can add to 105.
Add to 105.
I
So
feel
yeah,
like I'm 105.
ain't that the truth? Some days.
Sunday.
All right. Yeah, that too. Oh, that is the wrong screen. So I think that's it. I don't think we have any other announcements right now. Oh. Do we?
I mean, you did. Didn't you solidify the name of our next campaign? If you want to announce that.
I did solidify the name of our next campaign. So when this one is over, I'll go ahead and let you know. This one is over. We are going to jump over into the system of Shadowrun 5th edition. And yeah, it's a mouthful. I can't even speak English and start throwing those things at me. And so we are going to run in that system. We have our characters. We've solidified our characters mostly, and we're getting
set in jello.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I finally got my hair done.
I got a lot of work to do.
So we are going to start a campaign entitled Dark Allies, Shadows of Honor, is where we're going to jump into after this campaign. So watch for that. So if you want to, stick on board and watch us stumble through Shadowrun 5th edition, it will be a joy to watch as we go, hold on a second, I'm not sure what that is. Well, me anyway.
There'll be lots of questions like, what do I roll again?
How many dice?
They're all D6 though. That's the fun part. Fun part.
See, it's spreading.
Spreading.
we will. So
I think it started here, but okay.
Well, it's still spreading then. So that's what our next campaign will be. But we're going to finish this one first. And with that being said, let's start tonight's episode entitled Returning Shaji.
Tonight.
Yes. And then what happened last week? So I'm going to...
Stuff and things.
No idea.
Stuff and things happened last week. I usually have to remind you what happened last week. So it'll be interesting when we start the new campaign and I don't do this. All right. So what happened last week? Evangeline and Fix worked on the orrery in Dagon, or the Scarred Monolith. And while they did so, they had to forge a new part in order to complete the process. But while they did so, Forsyth went exploring and found a hidden tunnel that circled up or spiraled upward to an upper chamber that was circular. The chamber had 6 deteriorated archways equally spaced along the wall. Um, he also encountered a couple of strange looking birds. He got rid of those birds and then flew up through a hole in the
They were
ceiling.
delicious.
They taste like chicken. Um, went up through a hole in the ceiling and also explored the city, finding it to be in ruins, finding some of the foundation stones, half walls, such and such. Exploring through there, he did find one area that seemed to have a basement area at least, or at least access to underground area, and decided to head back to the rest of the group so that the whole group could check it out when the time was good. Once the orrery was up and running, the shield lit up and began to expand immediately, which Forsyth and Cadet confirmed. And uh, and noticed Cadet especially noticed the magic in the orrery where it spread upward toward that upper chamber. Through some fooling around with the orrery, Fix and Evangeline figured out that it was an orrery of time. It did have a planetary motion to it, like Rarmon, and also a circular disc that told time, like Shaji. Both were located at this orrery. And started playing with the levers and buttons to discover that you could open up doorways or look into different periods of time, looking at different cities, different people, etc. Fooling around with that and realizing the possible danger that it could come with, um, group decided to start brainstorming on ways that they could lock this system down to prevent others from misusing it. They're the only ones that want to misuse it. So you brainstorm ways to lock it down. Uh, but in the meantime, knowing that you couldn't do anything right away, you headed out and decided to explore that underground area, where you found a communal area for mages to do some alchemical testing, basically. The first room you encountered looked to be a record room, a desk with a table where they did some experiments, where there was a logbook. Kadeth shared that there was definitely enchantment magic on the desk and a logbook, which that turned out to be Zone of Truth was attached to both of those. You also found another room that was a storage area where you picked up a couple of potions, and also another room that was a library that also had a logbook, presumably to check books out and in and things of that nature. 2 names stuck out in the logbooks and notes, and that was Shaymarsk and Enora? Elnora? I think it was Elnora. I didn't write. Yes, I did. I did write it down. Here it is. Elnoa. Yep. Elnoa. Noar. Um, those 2 names stuck out to you. You remembered those 2 people. And you ran into Shaymarsk at the circus, and you ran into Elnoa and the Southern Wall, who she's now living in Lipgera. Once you felt explored there, you decided to go ahead and go to Rakar, where Leoros was already working on the orrery. You joined him on that orrery, and you shortened the time from about 24 hours down to about 10 hours. You were able to finish fixing that orrery. Leoros offers to take stewardship of the orreries once again and shares with you that he will remain on watch at Rakar because this orrery is actually accessible by the public. So people could actually go in there. So Leoros will take his watch there for the time being. You guys, realizing that Shaji got pulled out of the material plane somehow and is also out of time, or you had to mess with time in Shaji when you fixed that orrery. You decide to go back to Dagon and start fooling around there. In the process of figuring out how to set Dagon's orrery, Fix definitely enters into more of a trance communion that everybody else was privy to watching. As Fix learns how to use this orrery to lock some times in to possibly get Shaji to return. However, knowing that it was not only out of time, it is also out of place and out of this plane, There's a couple of other oris you need to attend, and I do believe we left off last week with you guys trying to decide how to get to the obelisk of the water god, or maybe not deciding how to get to the obelisk of the
We
water
got
god.
to it.
You did get to it. See, I didn't
We
get all the way
utilized
through last week.
the teleportation, didn't we?
I don't
From
know.
the utilizing my
Oh yeah,
my
we,
master key. Yeah.
That's
yeah, we used the teleportation in the orreries themselves.
I've triggered some memories. Good.
Yeah.
Tell me where we left off.
That's all I remember.
Oh,
And then we stepped through, and that's where we ended it.
okay.
We have reached the end of my memory.
All right.
I was asleep by then. No.
I know Rhonda probably was. All right. So you step through the portal into the orrery at the obelisk of the water god. When you step into this orrery, you hear instantly like a loud, almost thunderous sound. It's almost a thunderous roar. It is. Oh, excuse me. It is familiar to all of you. It sounds like a waterfall, but it is present. There is the orrery in front of you. It does appear to be working. It has a nice little hum to it. What do you do?
I moved to the control panel.
All right. And you start working on this orrery, or you start trying to do some levers and such to this orrery.
Yep. I bring Elf with me, and we and ask for her assistance as we try to figure it out.
All right.
Trying to replicate the trance.
All right. You get into it. Go ahead and roll me as you start to fool around with it a little bit. Evangeline, you can roll me investigation. Fix, you roll me religion.
Religion. Oh, God.
Yeah.
You think I would be more religious as a cleric?
You're only a part-time cleric.
Cleric in name only.
Helps if I bring up my character. Give me 1 second. I think it's a +1, maybe? I don't know. Yes, a +1. That's a
Hey.
19.
Hey, see, that ain't bad.
No, just glad I'm not rolling like I was in my other game.
Oh, this is not the one I want. This is the one I want. All right. With your 19 and Evangeline, you're 33,
34.
34. I was just guessing. I hadn't actually heard a number.
I hadn't said it. I rolled a 17 and I have a +17.
Jeez, LP. All right. Between the two of you, you are figuring this out. Fix, with your 19, you do go into a little bit of a trance, and you start fooling around, and you realize again on this orrery there is a hidden panel that you can start shifting, and you can, as you kind of shift the orrery a little bit to align with the astral plane, because you know it is the astral plane. And you start shifting it toward the astral plane, and you are able to lock that in.
All right.
That is not what I'm looking for.
Is there an on button here, or do I have to go back to the other one and press the on button?
You figure, you know, through this trance that once you've locked this in, it's locked, it's ready to go. It's pretty much already on, waiting for another command of sorts. Same thing that happened in Dagon. It's locked, it's ready to go. You have the time, you have the planar shift, now you need the location.
Did I not set the location in the previous one?
Not really. It was really just time. There's no location there. That's just time. You can view locations.
Mhm.
You can't set
But it's not set.
locations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Based on my knowledge of the orreries and everything, which one would be linked to location?
Um,
Would it be the teleportation one?
I mean, there is teleportation. But that's not the right book. You are thinking that the teleportation ones allow for travel. Travel within the plane. However, for location, it would need to be its physical location.
Where it was?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So we need to go there.
Sounds like it.
Basically, it needs an anchor point, is what you figure.
Which is
Otherwise, it
where
could show up anywhere.
I was gonna look on Owlbear, but I don't see the map.
Oh, sorry, it might be on the other side.
I believe that
Last time
the
I think was for Shadowrun.
master key is what would act as a anchor, or do I need something else?
It's entirely possible. If there's something for you to put it in, it possibly could act as an anchor. There you go.
Okay,
World
'cause
map is
Shaji was originally
over here somewhere.
out there. Yeah. Okay, so east northeast of Filolio,
Where was it?
southwest of White Lake, east northeast of Filolio, not far from the Clock of Kala. Do we need to have us at different locations to do this, or is it once one is set up, we're good and we just move on to the next?
Now, as far as I didn't change these. As far as you can tell, once it's set up, it's good.
Okay.
What is the closest town that we've been to?
To there.
Yeah, near there.
I think
to
we've been to
Filolio.
Pacala.
Oh, where did that one go?
Have we been to Lurik?
No,
Wow.
I don't
we
know where
skipped
this
it
one
and
goes.
went to when we were going to Astaria.
Mhm.
But we've been to Pacala, which is not very far away.
So where are we going?
Shaji.
We need to go to where Saji
Shaji, okay.
was.
In the beyond, not far from the southwest corner of the Clock of Kala.
You
Yeah.
have been to Astaria. You have been to Filolio. There's Astaria. There's Filolio. You have not been to Picala. You've been to Ephraimon.
No.
I mean, we could use your
White Lake.
teleportation thing from here to get to Filolio, right?
Everybody's been in
Yeah.
Filolio.
Because
And we
Yep.
have a
we can
we have
use
a
the
quick
key to
access
get there,
there.
right?
Yeah.
We could just do that and go from there.
Yep.
That's
It's
what I
barely
think we
further
should
than
do.
Pacala.
And it won't take us a spell slot to get there.
Yep.
Wait. How will it not take a spell slot?
Because we're going to use the Ori's teleportation to go to Filolio. The Ori and Filolio.
The Orrery in Filolio is non-working.
I
It's
thought
not a
all of them
working.
were.
Well, it's not. It's one of the originally destroyed cities. The ones that you've been fixing was the last 8 to be destroyed.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the originals. It doesn't have an orrery, what it has that you remember, it has a ring that goes to some kind of sky station.
That's right.
Ooh, I kind of want to go to that anyways.
Absolutely.
Kind of curious what this looks like from above.
But you
This
have
big
been there.
shield.
You can use teleportation. You could probably even use transport via plants. If you go outside of this orrery, you might find some plant life. Inside, of course, there's no plant life. But you have been to Filolio.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably the closest city.
We brought the bones back from Filolio.
Pacala's closer,
That's
but
right.
not by much.
Right, but have you been to Pacala?
I'm pretty sure.
Um,
I know we went to
Okay,
White
I don't
Lake. but-
remember it.
I know you've been to White Lake. Yeah, you've been to White Lake a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
I
remember.
We
don't
haven't.
remember
Pacala,
Pacala.
but we
I
have
don't
been to
remember
Filolio.
Pacala.
Well, then let's do Filolio.
Filolio it is.
Hello.
Forsyth, would you mind
Filolio.
facilitating our travel?
Plant us there.
Plant us there.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you guys travel outside of the obelisk of the water god to find some plant life. And sure enough, when you leave the orreries area, an upward motion, you get kind of to the top of the monolith. You see that the waterfall is moving up into a pool here. Doesn't seem to be overflowing the pool. So you're not sure where the water goes to from here, but you definitely see an upward moving waterfall moving into the pool instead of water moving out of the pool, crashing down. Now you kind of get its obelisk of the water god, okay? You do see scattered across the top here around the pool various plants and even some decent sized trees. You could find some foliage to travel.
Great.
All right, so you travel to Filolio.
If Forsyth
Sure.
is so willing.
All right,
Yeah. Forsyth is going to take care of that.
all right.
Cast.
All right. You cast and you open up the plant. You guys shift and you find yourselves walking out of jungle trees, basically, in Filolio. It's very thick forest. The vines and stuff, of course, have taken over a lot of Filolio. You do see there's still some ruins and things like that there that's kind of almost been taken over by nature. But you do see the hole that you guys dropped down into to find that teleportation to the sky station. Of course, you can also just begin your travel to where Shaji is, or you can go to the sky station. That's up to you. What do you do from here?
My vote is to head to Saji, and I think the view will be much more impressive once it's completed.
Yeah. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind to check it out
Oh, I think
Well,
it would
we're-
be a beautiful sight.
while we're in the region,
Sounds like fun to me.
general
Alright.
area.
You head toward Shaji. You begin your trek through the forest
That
to
we do.
come out on the other side. You travel. I don't know. You start traveling, and it's Did you guys rest? I feel like you guys did rest while you were in your car, right? I know
Yes.
Forsyth.
Oh, yeah.
did. Okay.
We did not take a long rest.
We didn't
did
take a
not-
long rest. He's
Okay.
the only one that rested.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are running on a point of exhaustion then. Except for Forsyth, who did take a long
Right.
rest.
Because he's not an idiot.
We had work
No.
to do.
You have work to do, so if you want to run on a point of exhaustion, that's fine. You can run on a point of exhaustion. Point of exhaustion.
Yeah, I have work to
obviously,
do
isn't that
too, and
bad.
I need my I
Well,
need my beauty rest.
he didn't have as much to do. I mean, I wasn't doing much, but
All right.
Mm,
As you about halfway through the the day, you start hearing interesting. You start hearing some noise coming from the forest. It seems like a rather large creature. Like it's got some heavy footsteps. You're not really sure they're footsteps, but there's probably 4 of them that kind of hit in conjunction, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't seem
5,
to
6,
be
7,
moving.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Does it sound like
Yeah.
something galloping?
No, it just sounds like he's moving. Or is
Okay.
moving.
But so, does it sound like a 4-footed creature? A
It
4-legged
sounds
creature?
kind of like a 4-footed creature, but it's not a good
Okay, so
thud.
it's not that big, 4 feet.
Yeah, it's a large 4-foot creature.
Okay. Well, being myself, I'm going to move towards the sound to see what we're dealing with.
All right, you begin to move toward the sound. Do you move stealthily?
Yes, for now.
All right. As you begin to move toward the sound,
And I got a 22 on stealth.
oh, good, because I don't think he's going to hear that. You are going to, as you move through these woods, you are going to see. I'll just throw this out here. Ooh, that's going to be hard to see. Ah! You are going to see, kind of coming through the woods. I'm just going to throw that out there. Ooh. Yeah, where are you guys? You are down here.
What are we seeing exactly? Oh, I should probably share the screen then.
Uh,
Oh, for crying out
I
loud.
don't know where we're at.
Hold on.
Bottom.
I'll be able to get you there.
We're somewhere.
Oh, for crying
Okay.
out loud.
She moved it up top.
I tried. It's
I'm
not
very
working
trying.
with me. It's very trying for me. Oh, for crying out loud. Why is my select tool not working?
Where are we trying to get to?
Up to the aha.
Where's the aha?
Up to
Just tell me once we
woods.
figured it out.
There we go.
What
All
woods?
right.
I don't see any woods.
Hold on. Up here.
Okay.
There's no woods there.
There's no
There's
woods.
no woods.
Oh, for
Imagine
crying out loud.
woods.
You have to imagine woods. How about if I do this?
Okay.
That's much better. Oh,
Ah, what is going on with these woods? Oh, okay. I see.
I had to overlay them
It's
a
like
little
the
bit.
the shifting paths. It's like the staircases on at Hogwarts.
Yeah, exactly.
They just keep moving on me.
Okay, I'm going to pull you guys down here. Forsyth is kind of up here, sneaking around. Big B's hands we're going to throw over here. Hex we're going to throw over here. All right. So as you move up, you see it right there, that thing,
Yeah.
the little leaf guy. You
Right.
see this creature. Oh, shoot. I need to see my screen so I know that I've got it in a screen because I didn't put a picture in here of him. You see that creature.
Okie dokie.
Interesting.
Is that something I recognize in my
Not at all.
studies? Not at all. Okay.
It's
It's
definitely
like a giant walking plant thing.
not very natural, even though it looks like a plant.
Right.
That's no plant I've ever seen.
Yeah. He does not seem to notice you, but he seems to be heading toward the rest of the group.
Okay, I am going to immediately detect thoughts.
Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. Oh.
I mean, kind of.
Find, torture, kill. But anyway,
He says, he needs more bones. That's what he's looking for. More
Fertilizer.
bones.
okay, he doesn't sound like a very nice guy.
He just
I'm going
wants
to
some
go
bones
across.
for
He
his
kind of
stock.
walks like a stud.
I'm
And
going to
you
go
see-
across the link and say, "Beware, incoming." And I will
Friendly or no?
actually, I'm going to have moved up into here, and I'm going to hold position until he passes me.
Okay.
And as he gets into visual range of the rest, then I will attack.
All right.
So
You
I will indeed
all
hide.
right. You're going there and you're holding spot.
Right.
Evangeline, Kadeth, and Fix. What are you guys doing?
Walking.
We're walking.
Yes, indeed. We're talking
talking.
about you and me. But I've just told you guys you got incoming.
Yeah, but you didn't say if it was friendly or not.
I would imagine I would have been a little more clear than that, but okay.
I mean,
I
it is
think
you.
you probably know him well enough that, like, if he doesn't give you a whole lot of detail, there's probably some kind of creature.
Yeah.
Something
I
he's
did
not
say
willing
heads
to
up
face on his
incoming.
own.
Yeah.
Here, I'll start this off. Buckley
I did
and
say income. I said,
we're gonna go over into this little
Okay.
brush of bushes.
All right. You gonna attempt to hide?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me your stealth check for both you and Buckley.
That was what I wanted to do. Oh, I got an 18 and Buckley got a 22.
Wow. For a construct, he is stealthy.
I make sure to keep his joints oiled.
Better than yours as you pop and
Mm.
crack. Kadeth, what are you doing? You gonna stand in the walkway and say, "Bring it"? Or are you gonna hide? Or are you gonna move forward? What's your plan? You know something's coming.
Yeah. Let's move up here and pull sword out. Wait till I see it.
All right. Fix, what are you doing?
Or
Moving up
summon
next
the
to
sword, I
Kadeth.
guess.
You just gonna hang out next to Kadeth?
And look out there and be like, "What you want?"
All right. He
Actually,
is.
no, it'd be more like, "Greetings.
Greetings.
How are you this fine day?"
Hello, fellow trees.
Greetings and salutations.
We seek passage through your lands.
All right.
We would like to go through.
He is moving forward. He would. I get it. Face palm now or face palm later? I don't know.
Later.
As he comes through, he moves forward. He's you get a good idea, Kadeth and Fix, that he was beelining to your guys' noise, kind of coming through the forest naturally. Being that he's not stopping necessarily, he probably missed Forsyth altogether because Forsyth got really quiet. And so, but you
again, I'm
also
not an idiot.
right, you also notice that he sticks to the left side of this path as he's, well, left according to how we're viewing it, of this
His right.
path. His right. He sticks to his right side.
So he's an American driver.
Yeah. Or a lot of drivers actually. Continental Europe drives on the right side too. It's just the
Mhm.
islands that are weird.
Oh.
But yes, you do notice that he sticks kind of to the right side. You're not really sure why, but he seemed to have avoided something.
There's a trap.
So go ahead and roll me initiatives.
Yeah, traps are fun.
You see this nasty thing too, and it's 4 feet. Kind of just looks like roots, like he's walking on roots. It's not actual feet.
I don't know if I should remind you or not, Kadath, but you would have your.
Oh, yeah. Well, I rolled without it and rolled average, so adding it will actually help.
Oh, you know what? I can
Wow.
do this.
Okay.
Hoi hoi.
I
Hoi
actually
hoi
rolled
hoi.
decent on, better than usual on both dice. Let's put it that way.
So you got a 10?
Well, I got an 18 total.
Nice.
Same here.
Took me 2 dice to do it, but
You got an 18, Kadeth?
yeah.
Fix.
I got a 19.
Evangeline.
I got an 8.
Of course, now I have to remember what exhaustion means.
Forsyth, is that you
Negative
that
one
put that
to
in there?
most things.
8?
I said 18.
18. All right. Well,
What were you saying, Joe?
I believe it's a -1 to most things.
okay.
Up 2 times your exhaustion level, so -2.
What is 2 times your exhaustion level?
Oh wait, no,
The
that's
negative on
new
initiative.
Never mind, that's the new.
No, that's
Well,
the new stuff.
oh wait,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
disadvantage on ability checks.
ability checks, and that means your skills are disadvantage. Oh shoot, we didn't remember that for stealth. We'll just let that go.
But I didn't have exhaustion.
Yeah, he doesn't have
Yeah, you
exhaustion.
don't, but Evangeline does.
I do.
But we will
Buckley
skip that
doesn't.
for now. But Buckley doesn't. So it's ability checks, and that's it, right?
Yes.
I think it's just
yeah, it's just ability checks.
Okay. So that's mostly skills and your checks. It's not your saves,
Yeah, other things
and it's not your
get
attacks.
added on later.
Yeah, it's not anything like that. It's just checks. So -1 or having 1 point of exhaustion isn't too bad. Once you start getting higher, then it starts getting really nasty. All right. So it moved forward. Fix. You're up.
And it looks like it has ill intent.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how you can't.
He wants your bones.
He looks very unnatural, and Forsyth just told you he wants bones.
well, does he look like a very soggy, wet tree or a dry tree?
I wouldn't say soggy wet, but he ain't dry either. He's not dripping. Hey,
Let's try
he
this.
looks like a tree.
Yeah. Let's see. That is a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. I'm using Firebolt.
All right, firebolt.
I'll just make this easy on me. Oh wow, that's a lot of ones. 17 points of damage.
That's pretty good. I like that kind of damage.
Fire damage, specifically.
17.
Does the
Right.
fire seem to affect him more so than anticipated?
It does not.
Okay.
Oh wait, yes it does.
Oh.
I was expecting that to be listed underneath his resistances. It was not. It was listed above it.
All right.
So
Okay.
yes,
Are we
it
in the
seems to be
dark?
quite effective. No, you're in the daytime.
But the
well,
forest is dark.
Yeah, the forest is dark. You're actually in the dark. Because I
Yeah.
would say it's probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Probably still
No
dark.
problem.
Okay. And I'm not gonna move up to him. I'll let him come to us if he wants to, but that is my turn.
All right. Well, he's gonna take extra damage, or
You'll take extra damage for fire. Now, Kadeth and Forsyth, you both rolled an 18.
Right. I have a dex of 20.
Forsyth's dex is probably higher.
my dex is not.
All right. I'm going to actually fire off before I do anything, I'm going to fire off a sunbeam at him.
All right.
So I will
Okay,
need
my thing.
a 19 con save.
19 con save. He might have actually made that. Ooh, I got a 21.
Oh, boo hiss. Okay. So he's not going to be blinded.
Oh, that's good.
Uh,
Does it take damage? Does it give damage?
let's see.
It's probably half for save.
I believe, I'm trying to read through this real quick. That would be, my brain has stopped working. Yeah,
Another feeling.
yeah.
Happened to me twice today,
Wait, yours started?
at least. It's happened to me multiple
On a
times. today.
successful save, it takes half as much, so 13 points to damage.
What type of damage?
Is he an undead or an ooze?
He is an undead.
He's undead?
Uh-huh.
His disadvantage on the saving throw
Okay.
if he's undead.
Okay, well that makes it 14 instead.
Okay, then 27 points of
What
radiant damage. And he's blinded until my next turn.
Oh, he just realized he picked the fight with the wrong people. That did an excellent amount of damage. He's also
So
vulnerable
he's
to radiant.
he's vulnerable to radiant. And oh, by the way, this lasts for up to a minute.
Oh gosh.
Wait, so he's blinded?
He's blinded.
He's blinded.
Does that
currently.
mean we get advantage to attack him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you get advantage or
so.
he just gets disadvantage?
He gets a disadvantage on his attacks. I believe that's all that blinded means.
I have to
Exactly.
pull out my
Check.
player's
It's right
handbook to
here.
find out.
Yeah, he's still going to be moving around.
Fails any ability check relies on sight. Attack rolls against creature have advantage.
Okay.
Creatures attack have disadvantage.
All right, so it's both.
Okay.
Cool.
And while we're at it, I am going, since I can keep these things up nowadays, I'm going to go ahead and, wild shape into a fire elemental.
Okay. Okay.
Because why not? And then I'm going to
Okay.
move up right behind him.
Okay. Well, move your guy wherever you want
Yeah.
to put him.
Yeah. Since he can't see me anyway. Feel the burn.
He is gonna feel the burn. All right.
That's why I asked if it was dark.
Kadeth.
It makes a difference.
You gonna hex him?
Well, I was waiting for my turn, but yeah.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I just saw you expand it. I thought you were getting ready to move it.
So, casting hex, moving up, and then we're dead. It's just D6. And then green flame blade, which is a cantrip. So normal part of the attack is a lot to hit, 27 to hit.
Are you yelling at the dogs? Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so this could be a little different. All right, So 5, 13 regular damage from the sword. Plus, I need D6. 1 point of necrotic. Plus 16 points of fire.
Whew. He is not liking you all. When you move up, however, this guy is going to attempt to. I can't roll tonight. Boy, you guys are going to get by easy. You're going to see what looks like almost like a frog's tongue, but it's got a lot of barbs at the end of it. Whip past you as you move by.
Well, and I didn't even roll advantage. I forgot. Okay, no natural 20. So
Okay. He attempts to snatch at you as you move by, and you see one of those. I think you guys have fought him before. I'm not sure. I don't know if I
up
can
a
move
little
my
bit.
camera.
Up a little bit.
What is it? I can barely see it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
just
very
Santham?
dark. Yeah, it's just Santham.
It's like a frog thing.
It's actually
Of
more
some
like a
sort.
plant. You didn't even realize it was
Oh.
there. When you saw it flip out the tongue, you kind of take a glance, and it looks like a gigantic bloomed flower, is what it looks like now.
And I didn't notice it when I swung at him, did I?
Nope, you didn't notice
Darn.
it until after it already tried to hit you. Now you know it's there, but
What do
Of
we
course,
remember
they're
about
more
this?
than 5 feet apart, aren't they? Darn.
yes, they are more than 5 feet apart.
Okay.
I can see red now.
I need them closer together.
Nope, they're 10 feet apart right now. All right, is that your turn?
Yep.
All right, that brings us to its turn, and it is lashing out. Oh no. It is going to kind of pull one of its claws forward and just kind of make a little fist, and you're gonna see a tree. I'm gonna use this ooze because I don't really have a good. Oh no, there's a tree in here somewhere. Yeah, there's a tree. I'm gonna use this tree. You're gonna see what looked like a dead tree animate and begin to move.
Oh, fun times.
And since he can't see anything, he's gonna call forth a friend. It is also undead. It is now an undead.
Undead tree.
Yep.
All right.
No apples on it, though.
Right. All right. We're gonna add this guy to initiative, and it's all right. All right. That brings us to Evangeline. So far, you've learned fire and radiant is very good against this guy. You have seen this tree start to move, and you saw this creature, which you now know is you know that it's a Jasanthum. You saw it animate and come forward. You remember Jasanthums. You had to collect something from them at one point, I think. And Jasanthums are pretty much unrecognizable from the average foliage until they bloom. When they bloom forward, then they're in attack mode. They're going to attack, and they're at that point you can start seeing them. But they blend in with the environment. Otherwise, you just cannot see them.
I'm gonna cast Firebolt.
How badly do
Alright.
we want these things dead quick?
Huh?
Oh, I was just thinking out loud. Sorry.
Okay.
What are you
I
casting
mean-
fireball at? The dead
Just
tree
that-
or the?
I think she said fire bolt.
A firebolt.
Oh, okay,
Then
firebolt. Sorry.
cast it at the tree, not the hexed
Okay.
thing. That is a 20 to hit
That'll hit.
for. Second, I gotta find my dice. That's it, the right kind.
Man. I'll have to find some D10s in case one of them actually hits me.
$28 points of fire damage.
28. It's 56. It works very well on this undead tree.
We're having a bonfire.
And Buckley
Um,
or a bonus action, whatever you're choosing to do.
Buckley's gonna move of his own accord.
Okay. You should be able to click and drag.
Good. He's gonna come right here,
All right.
and he's gonna attack. I guess the 29 hits, right? Mm-hmm.
I mean, they may be big and ugly, but they're not wearing any like plate armor or anything.
For 13 points of force damage.
13 points of first damage. That did regular damage. They are neither vulnerable nor resistant to force.
Well, that works because that's the only kind of damage he can do.
So he's getting his maximum damage there.
By the
Number-
way,
Yep.
for the duration of my spell, my 1 minute, my hands, even though I'm a elemental, there's a radiance shining in my hands that gives a bright light for 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. Sunlight.
Oh, wow. Well, they are not. They don't hurt in sunlight. They're just vulnerable
Right.
to radiant. So, yeah.
But it helps the rest of the party.
That's true. You can very well see. The Jasanthum is going to attempt to lash out with its tongue again. Ooh. This time it's hitting you with a 22.
Me?
Yep. Or maybe not. It's not a natural 20, but it's a
Barely.
22. Okay.
That is my AC.
Buckley will use his reaction
Do what?
to deflect the attack and make you re-roll.
Does Buckley have to be
He has to be
Within-
next to Kadeth.
just next to Gadeth, not next to the creature?
Oh, he might need to be next to the tree.
Oh, wait, is it
It's the Jasanthum that's lashing out.
is
That's
it
why I'm
the fighting style protection,
It's a special.
or is it a special ability of his?
Yeah, the battle pet.
I think it's a
Yeah,
battle
he has to be within 5 feet. He's not within 5 feet of the
of the
Jasanthum.
creature. No.
Right.
Okay. Wow. Okay, you're gonna take a whopping. Oh, well, that's better than I anticipated. 6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
and you are grappled by his tongue.
Really? Maybe I yeah. I don't know if I want to use it on that thing. Well, I guess I could. Yeah, I'll use my reaction.
For what?
Use my last spell slot since I have not rested. Cast Hellish Rebuke.
Ah.
I was gonna do it on one of the trees if they hit me, but
What is Hellish Rebuke? What kind of damage?
fire.
Okay.
That's why I was gonna do it on one of the trees.
Okay. Tell me how much.
21.
Okay. You hellish rebuke it, and it seems to like go up in flames, and you hear this oddly. You know how when you throw things, sometimes in a campfire, it gets this really high pitched whine. I don't know what kind of chemical makes that kind of sound. I can't remember.
Usually it's steam.
Okay, maybe
escaping.
that's that. But you hear that high pitched whine as it rears back and pulls its tongue back, and it moves backwards as it falls over and dies. Again, picked the wrong target.
Yeah, well, you know.
Fix, it's your turn.
Unfortunately, that was my last spell slot,
How
so I can't do
badly
it on
these
one of the
trees
trees.
The main guy, he's looking pretty hurt. The other tree, not really, not so much.
look?
The one that's blinded is looking pretty bad.
All right, then what I will do is, I will cast Firebolt, but I'm going to twin it so it hits both of them.
Okay.
The first one on the big guy, that's a 20. Does that hit?
Yep.
And then on the other one, that is much higher.
All right, that's gonna also hit.
And this is fire damage. Gonna do the big guy first.
All right.
30. Wow. A 10, a 9, an 8, and a 10.
Nice.
Wow.
So, 37
37.
points of damage. Of fire damage.
Gosh. All right, you catch it on fire, and
So
it screams, and it roars, and it just kind of starts to lash out as it kind of goes into its death thralls. What is the second one?
The second one, less. 31 points of damage.
Oh my gosh. $31 points of damage?
I may not be, a full-blown cleric, but I'm definitely a sorcerer.
Oof. That one's now looking about as bad as the one was before it. Forsyth.
Okay, not wanting to waste the advantage, I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to do 2 attacks against this tree.
Right.
And the first attack is, let's see, a 13 plus the plus, which is plus 6. So 19 to hit.
19 to hit will hit.
Okay, that's 2d6 plus 3. That's all of 7 points of damage.
7 points.
Fire damage.
All right. Well, it does more than that, but it's very effective.
And then a nat 20.
Oh, geez. You don't have to roll if you don't want to. Just tell me how you
Oh,
want
but
it
it's
to look.
fun to see that I only got 6 on the dice. Well, 3 on the dice plus 3 plus the 12, which would make 18 points of damage.
Nice.
Fire
well,
damage.
That'll kill it. It kind of goes up in flame. You hear a little bit of that high pitched wail as it just kind of stands there and burns.
I just wrap my arm around it and hold it until it just disintegrates. Because the fire don't bother me none.
All right. You stand there and hold it until it pretty much turns to ash. It was a dead tree.
Made an
Take
ash
it
out of
long.
yourself.
All right. Well, you burned up your evidence. Well, I guess the other guy's still burning a little bit if you want to try to put him out. If you want
Why
to
not?
figure out what these guys are.
We'll put them out.
Well, what this one is, I guess I should say. The tree is an ash. Ha 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 ha. Get that?
Is it a
Ash.
whole ash?
Ash is a type
Hardy
of tree.
har har.
It's a dead ash.
Just dead ash, huh?
Let the puns begin.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Oh my gosh.
If
now
you were
I'm making-
metal, we'd have made you rust.
Probably so. Now I gotta find the character again. Where the heck did he go? Accidentally closed my book before we. Okay, so you put him out and you go take a look at him.
Yeah, why not?
You take a little bit of closer look. You notice that the inside, even though the outside was mostly bark, and very
But no
much looks
bite.
like trees, the inside has just random bones. It's like he was made of bones. Not in any particular order. Like you don't see a
You are what you
spine
eat.
and ribs, and you don't
The
see
leg
that,
bone's
but you
not
just see
attached to the hip bone.
no, the leg bone is not attached to the hip bone. It's just random bones. And of course, his head is a skull. It looks kind of like a deer skull with antlers. And you do see a couple other skulls kind of in various places. Like one was like a pauldron, and one's kind of down in his stomach. That kind of thing. You do see a couple of skulls in there, but he looks like he was almost like a hollowed tree filled with bones.
Interesting.
Definitely unnatural.
Kadath, you're fairly knowledgeable in religion. Do you have any clue what this might be? Other than a dead tree.
That's a good question. Do I know anything about this?
Roll me. You may roll
Religion
me
or
your
history?
history or religion. This could
Cool.
even fall under religion.
23 for history.
Okay. Recalling some of your studies, and especially the God that you follow, you know that sometimes that liches will often
He's a lich.
give basically new life, if you want to call it that, because this is undead creatures. Really, it's for most people a curse. That would give nobles a chance to rise again. These are known as necrostalons.
Okay.
And liches will
Be crazy.
liches will open the way to allow ancient tree roots to find the bones of such a noble that is cursed to reanimate as necrostalons.
So this tells me we might be end up dealing with a lich. Grant.
That's
Or there
fun.
might be one in the area.
No
We might
fear.
we need to rest before we do anything with the lich because, I'm out of spell slots and we're a little exhausted, and so
I will
camp
take
here?
first watch.
well, what I was thinking is, why don't we go? Well, where are we in relation to everything at this point?
You're about a half day's journey, kind of northeast of Filolio.
We
Okay,
head back to Filolio.
I was thinking that it'd be a better place to hunker down for a night.
Better protection.
Yeah.
We should have stopped in Filolio to begin with, not did a half a day's journey out and then go back.
Right.
I didn't realize how
The
tapped
sun is rising.
Kadath was there.
Yeah, you know.
All right, let's head back to
I mean,
Filodo.
he did put the stipulation, if we're going to run into a lich, I'll need to rest. But if we
Yeah.
don't
Yes.
run into a lich,
Well, we could run into something worse, like
Yeah.
a dragon.
No, that's easy. Like,
Yeah, you just
dragons
stop
are
it in the
actually
air.
you could
fairly.
take out a dragon. I mean, you don't even need me for that.
Yeah,
Tarrasque would be
you
fun.
ain't facing no dragons in a while. Not
Any
until
of
they
us
figure
could
out how
take out
not
a
to stop in
dragon.
midair.
I mean, I could take out a dragon on my own in my current condition.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
an
possibly.
ancient dragon.
Eh, it'd just take longer.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, you head back to Filoleo. You get back to Filoleo probably early afternoon, mid-afternoon, um, and you drop down into the hole to rest, or do you just find some ruins to hunker by?
I drop in the hole.
Yeah,
Okay.
go in
Absolutely.
there. We know the place a little bit.
Yep. All right, you drop down into the hole. It looks just like how you left it, except it's missing some bones, because you already took those out of there. There is the panel of buttons and knobs and things along the wall. There is the huge portal to the sky station. Seems to be running. I don't think you guys turned it off.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, while we're here, though.
Go take a look at the sky station.
If you
Yeah.
want to, but I'm going to wait until we have it all so we can see the masterpiece in its entirety.
Yeah, but I'm curious if partially if we're missing anything else.
I think that's
Oh,
a
speaking of missing anything else, cards. Where are we with the cards?
All right, you take a
While I'm
moment to look
thinking
at the
about it.
cards.
Yeah, because while I happen to be thinking about it.
All right, you take a moment to look at the cards. The rune card hasn't changed. It's still got the tree-like creature that seems to be moving toward the foreground. Um, and
the one
the
we just killed.
battlefield is kind of still there, but the tree-like creature is still moving kind of toward the foreground. Um, so the rune card hasn't changed much since the last time you looked
Wait,
at it.
the tree-like creature doesn't look like what we just killed, does it?
No, it
Right.
does not.
Okay. I mean, we just killed a tree-like creature, so
What the heck? Yeah, no, not like that. It would be more difficult to kill probably. Um,
I'd imagine so. If it's on
one
a
would
card.
hope, but who knows? So it's still moving toward the foreground. The comet card looks like it is almost there. It's almost like how the moon looks with clouds in front of it. The comet card kind of looks like that. It's like you can kind of see the comet. It's got a tail, but it looks like there's cloud in front of it. So it seems to be being completed, but it's not complete yet.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go through the portal and check things out from way above.
All right. You go up to the sky station. Anybody who chooses to go up to the sky station, you will see it as you left it. Seems like nobody has come in through this way since you last looked at it, which was, I don't know, 3 months ago. Who knows? I don't remember how long ago you were here.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it doesn't
Been a
seem like
while.
anybody's been here. You can see the steadfast, and you can see the shield. I'm gonna see if I can draw. It won't be precise, but it's going to be there. I'm gonna draw it in red. Red can be seen, right? Most people can see red. Okay, you can see the shield
Anybody who's
seems
not red
to
green
be.
colorblind is gonna,
Well, that's true.
as long as it's a different
Oh,
shade of
never
red,
mind.
it'll
It's
still
still in
just show
yellow,
up as a
apparently.
different brown.
Would you
So
prefer it in yellow or red?
I don't care.
Okay. All right. I'm going to draw it in red. You can see the shield kind of runs up here and around. It gets a little up That way,
Disappeared.
Oop, it disappeared. Oh, there it is.
that's because I was still drawing. And you can see it kind of duck inward here. Oops, that was a oopsie. It goes here. Ignore the shark fin. That's kind of how you see the shield right now.
Okay. So we're currently outside it.
You are currently outside it.
Okay, my owlbear just went all funky.
Oh no. Close and reopen.
No, it's had to reload. I just went
Oh,
to move it because I
gotcha.
thought you were drawing on the forest map, and then
Oh, no.
okay. But Pix specifically did not go up there.
All right.
All right. Well, cool. Also going to look and see, is there any more cracks in the ground?
Right now you only see the 3.
Okay.
And yes, you can see them. They're that big.
I kind of figured. They are pretty large. Anything else that stands out that is right or wrong in any specific way?
Roll me perception.
Great. 11. No, 12.
12.
Plus 1.
You don't necessarily see anything wrong per se. But you do notice that the shield, once Saji's in place, you're not sure how much beyond, like the clock of Kala, how much of that or beyond that the shield is going to protect. Like you notice that it's protecting most of the steadfast, most of the beyond. What about the clock of Kala? What about over there? What about beyond the beyond?
Are you passing this info along?
Yeah.
Have I had at least a
I'm
short
gonna
rest?
describe everything that I'm seeing.
Probably.
All right, I'm going to take up giant eagle form,
Okay.
and I'm going to go up as high as I can, and I'm going to take a look around.
Okay. You fly up out above Filolio. I'm assuming you're not going to go too terrible far. I mean, your giant eagle
within a
might,
couple miles.
like, maybe around in here.
Within a couple miles, yeah.
All right. Flying up and whatnot, you do notice that you are not under the shield. You are going to notice that as you're
Right.
taking flight. You're going to see above you. You are not under the shield at this point. You are figuring probably the shield is not covering most of the Ba'udenu right now.
Right.
You probably figure that's why Shaji needs to return. And as you fly around, you are going to be able to stay up underneath that shield. If you want to go above the shield, you can as well.
Okay.
Do you want to go above the shield?
I'm going to go above the shield.
Okay.
By the way, I got a 26 on perception.
Okay. As you fly up above the shield, if you get to an area where the shield is, it looks solid while you're above the shield.
Right.
I mean, you can see through it, but like you can see through a pane of glass, you know.
But I can tell it's there.
It's there, yeah.
Okay. And I can see that Yeah, from White Lake down to the basically to the Nave Marica. It's just an empty area.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah, there is no shield there.
because I would be at least 10,000 feet up.
Yeah,
And
you'll be
a giant
pretty high.
eagle can fly that high. Okay, I will pass this information along of what's covered and what's not.
Yep.
Then I will slowly float back down, doing concentric circles, looking for anything moving.
All right. As you slowly make your way down, kind of bringing in your circle so you can land in Filolio, you don't notice any movement. I mean,
Okay.
other than a slight breeze moving the trees or whatever, but nothing creature. Nothing of significant size
Right.
or anything like that. And you land down in Filolio.
Right. We got to get the job done, guys.
Yep.
We're just gonna rest here, and then
All right.
we'll.
All right. I'll take first watch. I'm gonna just keep form for now.
All right. You can take the first watch. You can go ahead and roll me perception.
Okay. Since it's a sight, I get advantage. 20.
All right.
It's pretty poor.
Well, yeah, for you, but 20 is not a bad score.
Yeah.
All right. As you're watching, you notice that the forest is very much alive. There is lots of creatures moving about, just creatures you would expect in a forest. Lots of squirrels, rabbits, deer, all of those creatures. Um, and it's fairly peaceful. It's the late afternoon, and they all seem to be scurrying about doing their daily things. It's pretty quiet.
All right.
Nothing menacing. It's more peaceful than you were here the first time. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I will tag in the next person.
Who's second watching this?
I'll do it.
Okay. Evangeline, you get tagged in. And are you gonna stay down inside the thing while you watch, or are you gonna come up?
No, I'm gonna stay down.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me perception.
Interesting. There it is. Where's my 20 cider?
Okay.
That one's kind of important.
I've had to start hiding my dice. Sabrina decided to start jumping up
That's
on
a
my desk.
22.
22. All right. When you first start your watch, you hear the natural noises of the forest, what you expect to hear. As evening starts to come in, you hear all of those noises start to die down, and you start hearing the typical night creatures like the crickets and an owl here or there. So as the sun sets and the moon starts to rise, the sounds change, but nothing unexpected, and you can hear those sounds. It's actually rather peaceful.
All right.
Who takes third watch?
I can.
All right.
That's a 19 on my perception.
All right. With a 19, you staying down in the hole or are you climbing up?
I'm
Just so I
staying
know.
down.
Okay.
I do not want to see it until Gon's masterpiece is completed.
All right. You stay down in the hole. You hear the night sounds, the night creatures. As your shift kind of comes to a close and you're kind of thinking, I should probably wake up the rest, things get very quiet. Like even the night creatures are falling asleep at this point. It gets very quiet. It's a little unnerving, but doesn't seem unnatural. It's just quiet.
Okay. I'll make note of that and wake everyone else up.
All right, everybody wakes up. It is dark outside, but you have had a long rest.
Yay!
You are
Cool.
changing, you are shifting your nights and your days.
Seems kind of important where we're going.
Yeah, being able to, do stuff is important.
A long
Not-
rest
Yeah.
gets rid of the exhaustion, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And if it didn't, just unclick it. But it should.
Did not.
I'll try it. Long rest and hit confirm again.
Oh, when you click long rest, you have to click the there's a check mark
Oh, okay.
to recover the exhaustion.
Oh, so you can tell it to recover exhaustion and whatnot. All right. You feel very rested, even though it's nighttime outside. You're feeling back to yourselves again, feeling prepared
I am the night. Oh,
to go to Shaji in the middle of the night. In the
Yeah, why
middle
not?
of the night.
I mean, we all have dark vision, right?
nope.
No?
But there is a moon.
Hey, I have dark vision, so
Oh, I do, but no, not all do.
By the light of the moon,
The silvery
By
moon.
the light of the silvery
you
moon.
can move yourself about the land, even those without dark vision. I mean, it's a little harder to avoid like being silent. It's a little harder to be silent because you could step on things you don't see. But for the most part, it's not like you're gonna, stumble and have to hold your hands out all the time. You can still kind of see by the light of the moon. It's just harder.
I just take out a candle
There you go.
and using
Wait,
druid craft
wait.
light it on
Whose
fire.
candle are you using this time?
Hey, that's
I'm not
my
telling.
candle.
I recognize that candle.
How come that candle has the initials ELF? Oh.
Never sure. I thought I melted that part off.
Whoops. All right, you light a candle. It gives you a little bit of light, and you begin to move out of the forest again. This time, though it's all quiet, it's a little unnerving as you're moving through. It is quiet, but at the same time, again, it doesn't feel unnatural. Um, but it is like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the morning. So things aren't quite up yet, including the sun. But you are listening and you don't hear anything, nothing like that creature before as you move through the forest. Are you going to walk your way to Saji?
well,
Yeah.
yes. There's a reason not to.
No? All right. By the end of the day, you do find yourselves outside of the forest. You do exit the forest. You see before you a plain. You can see some hills, scattered trees, things of that nature. There are some areas that it does look more barren, um, but you're somewhere between desert and plains. You're almost in Arizona.
I will take point.
All right, and you begin to cross these plains or these more open areas outside of the forest. All right, so you're leading this group. You travel.
What are you pointing at?
There.
over there. Um, so you've traveled for a little while outside of the forest. How far do you want to travel? Like it took a day's worth to get out of the forest, I'd say. Sun rose, sun is setting. Um, you're just outside of the forest as the sun is setting. Do you want to reset your cycles or just keep going? Because you could probably go until 1 o'clock in the morning or so if you wanted to continue to march.
we'll continue to march because at least in the plains you can see more even at night.
That's true. There's less shadow. All right. You continue to walk on for a while. You get a good distance away. You can still see the forest behind you, but it's a good distance. You can only really see it because it's mostly plains. And you find yourself a little crevice between a couple of hills that maybe might make a good camping spot. If you want to take
Okay.
another long rest.
I think
Sure, why not?
to prevent exhaustion, it would be smart to take a long rest.
Yep, I would agree.
All right. You take another long rest. Anything you wish to do for the evening
Forge.
as you set up camp? Forge, you forge. Ka-tink,
Continuing to
ka-tink,
forge.
ka-tink. All right, you're forging.
Working on perfecting the adamantine obtania mix.
Okay.
And
I forage.
ha.
All right. Do you find anything? Roll me your
I
survival.
don't know.
I will
Roll,
keep
roll survival.
No, I don't. Don't find a thing. I got a +5, so I got a 6.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
What do you do,
There was
Evangeline? Oh,
I'm tinkering.
there was a leaf
Okay.
blowing in the
With
wind.
nanites and whatnot.
And
all
I'm
right.
also trying to figure out a way. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt here. Just want to, before this thought leaves me, want to figure out if there's a way to infuse the mixture into my current armor. That will take some experimentation, I assume.
Yeah,
But
that will take some experimentation and some time and some of God's blessing.
yep. Good thing when he is forging, that is his method of prayer.
All right. You start fooling around with that a little bit. Go ahead and roll me your forge. Evangeline, are you still working on the communication things or? Okay. Go ahead and roll me your Arcana. And as you guys are doing this, every now and then you glance up and Forsyth's chasing something. There's something in this breeze. I don't know. It's like, I know there's something up there.
35.
I saw a Teletubby.
35. Okay.
30.
30. All right. All right. You fool around with the nanites, Rhonda, and you, or Evangeline, and you figure out that these nanites, some of these nanites can actually be programmed to make smaller nanites.
Make babies.
They can make babies.
Wait, so they can make smaller nanites? Can they make smaller ones that can make smaller ones and make go infinitely small?
Perpetually,
Infinite.
yeah.
You can half-life them.
Microtechnology.
Quite literally.
Nano nanites?
Nano nanites.
Nanu nanu?
Nanu nanu. Suddenly we become dwarf.
Hmm.
So you can program baby nanites. That might, you're thinking, solve the size problem
Yes.
for your communication.
I'm gonna work on that.
All right. Fix. After fooling around with some of the obtanium and adamantine, and your armor is already obtanium because you made it out of obtanium, right? Okay.
Yep.
You figure that they're probably, if worked well enough, might not be doable on a portable forge, but you probably could integrate them to a degree. Might be harder to do on a portable forge.
Well, I was already intending on going back to the one we had visited previously. So
Menkala Peak. Menkala Peak.
the Holy Forge.
Yep, that's up in Menkala Peak.
Okay.
All right. So you think it's possible? Maybe not on this portable forge.
You're saying
it
there's a
served me well.
chance.
All right, Kadath, are you doing anything particular in the evening or just going to sleep? Like, good night, all.
Well, pretty sure I'm out of things to read, so I'm just going to sleep.
You are running out of things to read. You can always borrow books from the book hog Evangeline. She might have something to read if you want to read something.
You say, unless I can actually access information in her little notebook thing.
No, she
Yeah,
has regular books too.
she has regular books too. You might not be
Yeah,
able to read the Book of Denier, but
Fix
I mean,
has books.
that I
A
would be
couple
really
books as
interested
well.
in, but
that's
I'm
true. Fix has picked up a couple books too.
I'm sure I've probably read everything everybody's carrying at some point.
Most of it.
It's
There's a
kind of
few
my
things
thing.
Evangeline
But
probably hasn't shared, but like the
And
journals of the popes. Like,
You guys don't even know I have that.
yeah, she doesn't. She hasn't even shared that one.
I'll probably just go to bed then. Like, whatever.
You sure you don't want to read the papacy and history of the Order of Truth?
No,
Are you having trouble sleeping? Here,
I
read
mean, I could, but
I have books on forging if you want.
this.
I will
Nah.
loan you Numenera across the ages.
Can learn about Numenera. All right, so you're gonna go to bed. All right, the evening progresses, things die down. You guys get tucked in, you get ready for bed. Uh, as you rest for the night, I'm not going to require any kind of rolls. As you rest for the evening, all is pretty peaceful. It's peaceful, it's quiet. You can see the stars. If you're looking up, you can see the stars. You can. It's actually quite nice sleeping out under here. And after you rest, you wake up, and it is because you pushed on throughout the night a little bit. It's going to be mid-morning,
No worries.
maybe 10, maybe 10 in the morning. As you wake up
Making
and
for the river.
move on. All right.
are
You
we?
travel onward and do what?
I was just gonna ask if we're getting close for a break.
Oh yeah, it is 8 o'clock. We could take a break. I'm gonna say you travel onward, and toward the end of this day, there's not a whole lot of activity happening. You do see some animals moving about in these plains, but as the sun starts to kind of hit the horizon, you do come to the water's edge, um, and we'll go ahead and take a 10-minute break there.
All right.
We'll be back in 10.
And we're off. Sorry, I was.
righty.
And we're back.
Welcome back. Pardon. So we had just left you guys. You had just reached the river at about the time the sun is setting. Did you want to try to cross the river this evening? It is approximately 20 feet across, maybe a little bit more. Oops. I don't want to draw.
That's not very far.
But it's still
I'm looking to
daylight.
see.
There's still light.
Okay, maybe it's about 70 feet across.
That
based on
sounds
my
about
scan.
right.
I'm gonna go 70 feet. It is still, the sun is setting. It is still daylight, but it is low in the sky.
Guess what I did when
What?
I leveled up?
Well,
did you
what do
when
we
you
see on
leveled
the
up?
other side?
Just so you guys know, I got another spell. I
Fly.
took fly.
So, she can fly.
What do we see on the other
Evangeline
side of the
can now
river?
fly. What you see on the other side of the river is a lot of the same. Just plains with some scattered hills, trees, and whatnot. It's just a lot of the same going across here.
I recommend we go ahead and cross
Okay. I
because
fly across.
Put it behind us.
yeah, look for a high spot to land on, a hill or whatever.
Okay.
As I fly across, and I'll go up a bit and see what I can see.
I
All right.
will. I will also go up a little bit more because I'm
Okay.
going as a giant eagle.
Okay, you're changing to giant eagle. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were using your wind thingy or
No,
if you were
you can
actually
see better
changing shape.
even at night. Even in the evening, I can see better and further.
All right. So giant eagle goes up. Fix, you fly up. You go over. Evangeline,
Mm-hmm.
you took fly. How many people can you make fly?
I think it depends on what level I cast that.
Okay, because you've got you and Buckley, and Kadeth can be a balloon.
29 as perception.
Okay. Fix, go ahead and roll your perception.
My perception.
You're close enough that height might make a difference. You might start to see the land around Shaji, or where Shaji should be.
I
Wow.
can.
I should be seeing that.
22.
I can do
22.
up
All right.
to two other people.
Okay, so you could just make Kadeth fly.
And I can do Buckley flying.
All right. Buckley is going to become what looks like a reindeer.
Put a red light on its nose.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
All right. So Kadeth, Evangeline, and Buckley, you kind of fly over the river.
Through the
You-
woods.
You already went through the woods. It's through the woods
To
and over the
grandmother's
river.
house we
To,
go.
to Shaji we
So
go.
we're leaving grandmother's house. We
Yes,
left
that
there.
was exactly what I was thinking. We must be leaving Grandma's house.
And she gave us cookies.
All right. So, Fix, with your 22, you fly up. You see a lot of the same. You can kind of see the forest way off in the distance if you look kind of behind you. In front of you, you can definitely see a gigantic cliff side and a lot of cloud cover at once it gets about, I don't know, 100, no, probably closer to 200 feet in the air, that giant cliff in front of you. It's a lot of cloud cover at that point, high.
That's the clock of Kala.
That is the clock of Kala that you see in the distance. Forsyth, you're going to see this as well. You're positive that's the clock of Kala. You have trouble getting high enough to kind of see over the clouds. Forsyth, you get up there and you can kind of see over the clouds. You can see in the distance that there's green, there's land. You can see more rivers and things of that
But it's
nature
pretty dark
over
there now because the sun's left them.
You're right. It is pretty dark over there. So you can't make out any real detail, but you can definitely see that there's more land on the other side of the clock of Kala. You're not sure what's in the clouds. You can't see in the clouds. It's all thick. So you're not sure what's in there, but you can kind of see over it. But you also see where Shaji once was. There is a huge patch of barren land. It doesn't uh, it doesn't look like it's grown anything. It doesn't look like it will grow anything. Um, it is just flat and barren. Um, you're pretty sure that that is where Shaji once was. You can kind of see toward the center of Shaji that there is something different about the land. It's a slightly different coloration, might be a little taller, might be a little shorter. You can tell just from your vision that that is a different place there. You can tell that the landscape, the terrain changes there in the center of this huge circle. This was a massive city, as you experienced firsthand. So, Fix, as you're going up, you do see the spot of land that looks off. It's a little slightly different than the rest of the terrain, um, but you can't really make out its shape or anything. But you can tell that there's a difference over there.
Do I see anything moving across the stretch between us and Saji?
Um, no, not from your height. I mean, so there's nothing massive up there.
Right.
The little critters and stuff that you have been seeing probably are moving
Yeah.
around there, but not from your height. You can't really see anything moving.
Right. All right. I will circle back down, concentric circles going from at least a mile out, coming back in as I
All
go
right.
towards the ground.
All right. You work your way
Basically
down.
coasting in.
Hmm. Gliding in where everybody landed
Mhm.
on the other side of the river. All right. You glide in and you land. Do you share everything that you find or see?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I will let everyone know that we're not that far from the clock, but as the crow flies, or as the eagle flies in this case. But Saji is not that far out, and there's basically nothing between us and it that's of consequence, apparently.
Good to know. About, about how
ahead.
long of a trek was it?
To get from here to Shaji?
Yeah.
Probably another half day to 3/4 of a day travel, maybe 10 hours.
Shall we make camp and then head out early in the morning?
Yeah, makes sense. And since we have the high ground, it'll be easier to maintain security.
All right. You make yourselves a camp.
Yep.
And do you do anything this evening? Do you continue to do your stuff?
More foraging.
All right. More working on those babies.
More baby nanite work.
You're gonna do baby nanite farm,
He's making babies.
making babies. All right. All right. You guys do that in the evening. You bed down. You take your watches. Um, throughout the
I
night,
got a pocket one.
you wind it again to make sure it doesn't die on you. And throughout the night, it is quiet. It's again, the nighttime quiet is a little unsettling, though it doesn't seem unnatural, really.
It's just unusual.
It's just unusual. As you do your watches.
Yep.
When you wake up in the morning, you prepare yourself and you head towards Saji. As the sun rises, you get yourself breakfast and you head out so that you can hit Saji while the sun is still up, right?
Yep.
That's the plan, anyway.
That is the plan.
All right. As you walk onward, you you travel good half day to 3/4 of the day, and you begin to spot from the ground an area that is huge, size of a city, that is barren. As you walk to that area, you realize that it's not only is it not growing vegetation, it's like almost like smooth rocks. It's like a lot of rocks, like you would walk across, a rock driveway, a gravel driveway or something. It's they're firm. You're not going to sink or shift on them, so they're like packed down per se, but it is rock in
Okay.
this huge area.
Hmm. Kadeth, any magic coming from these rocks?
Looks like the foundation of a city.
I'll take a look, see if there's magic around.
Um, you do detect magic, and from the rocks themselves, there doesn't seem to be any magical aura or essence coming from the rocks themselves, but you do sense magic coming more from the center of this of this area.
Okay.
What you would figure would be the center of the city.
So nothing from the rocks, but
I
is
was
there
I'm
concerned
going
we
magic,
didn't.
to.
magic in the air, if you will?
It's magic
Well,
in the air.
Kadath, I mean, I like you, but
He can feel it everywhere.
I'm going to cast commune with nature.
Okay.
Ooh.
Can you commune with a rock? Ooh, with what?
I can commune with the whole ground.
Okay. What did you roll, Evangeline?
A nat 20 for a total of 37.
For what?
Investigating this area in the center.
Oh, you're moving toward the center to take care of to look at that.
I'm investigating all of the area in here
Okay.
because if we have to anchor Shaji, we have to get it something here. There's got to be something that we have to do here.
All right. You begin to kind of investigate the area. Forsyth, you reach down into the rocks and try to and commune with nature. You are going to sense celestial.
Okay.
There are no prominent plants.
All right.
But you are going to sense celestial.
Do I sense any other planes of existence influencing it?
Um, you can. Oh yeah, you can sense planar influence, can't you? You
Yes.
sense. You sense that there is definitely Shadowfell, and there is
Okay.
definitely Astral.
Okay. And any buildings?
No buildings.
Okay. I will pass along the information that I've garnered to the rest. We're not alone.
Evangeline, as you investigate around the center, you definitely are able to come to the conclusion that these rocks are very similar to what one would use underneath a building. They're very similar to like navigate rainwater to keep buildings raised up off the ground so they don't flood, so they don't, wood floorboards don't rot, things like that. These rocks are very much used for that purpose. You're able to determine that. Um, is anybody else doing anything before you hit the center?
um,
You are muted, dear.
All right, I'm keeping an eye out for magic as we go.
Okay. It gets stronger and stronger the closer you get to that center.
All right. And watching for any specific points.
Okay.
How far out time wise do I think we are?
How far out time wise?
Yeah.
You can get to the center of the city before the sun sets.
And what time is it?
I don't know, like 6:30 maybe.
PM?
Yep.
Okay, I am casting a spell,
Okay.
and it is going to take me a minute to cast it.
Okay.
It's called Foresight.
Okay.
Forsyth with foresight.
Foresight on foresight. All right.
And I'm casting it on myself, a
Okay.
willing creature.
A willing creature. You're right. So Forsyth takes a moment. You see him start to cast something. It's going to take him a little bit to do it. Fix, what were you doing?
Armor of Agathis,
Okay. All right. Kadeth,
since it lasts an hour or 8 hours, one of those.
Oh yeah.
I think it's 8 hours.
This is not.
This is an
concentration.
8-hour.
I will
Yeah.
do this. I will
Okay.
do.
You will
the
also
same.
do that since it's not concentration.
Oh, it's 1 hour.
Oh, okay. 1 hour. My bad.
So actually, I'll wait to do it. I'll wait till we
Yeah,
get
I
closer
thought
to
it
the
was
middle.
8.
I mean, you're getting close to the middle. As you get closer to the middle, you
then
start to
How long
start
did you say it would take to get to the middle?
like 30 minutes.
Okay, when we're about 5 away, I'll.
It's a gigantic
cast it.
city. But
Yeah, but
you're
I'm not
only
going to get
traveling
hit.
half of it.
I'm
And
not
I'm-
going to be attacked even getting in there.
I mean, I'm recasting detect magic every 10 minutes, but then when we're five away from the middle, I'll do the armor of Agathis.
Okay. As you get closer, probably about the time you're going to cast Armor of Agathis, you sense from the center of this city the magical aura that starts to become prominent is some conjuration. You're going to start picking up conjuration. And you're going to pick up a little bit of abjuration.
Okay.
Evangeline, you investigating as you get closer to the center of the city, you are going to start to see how the land changes from the pebbles to more of a solid worked stone.
Okay.
And it's kind of a smoother surface as you get closer to the center of the city. Fix, you cast your Armor of Agathis, and as you get closer to the center of the city, you get a little bit of a sense of, almost a sense of dread. Cadet, you get a sense of almost a guardedness, like to be on guard. Evangeline, you are going to get a sense of fear, not enough to make you quote unquote frightened mechanically, but you get a sense of fear. Forsyth, nothing really affects you. You're going to get a little curious, like this is different. This must be where I'm sensing the planar travel. You're getting the planar feel, like there's a lot of
Okay.
planar interaction going on here. And while you reach toward the center of the city, you are going to see a creature almost fall from the sky. Like where did this come from? Almost falls from the sky with a sword in hand, slams it down into the ground. And I need everybody to roll me dexterity saving throws.
I don't like that.
Me either. I got an 8.
I'm using my inspiration because that was a natural 1.
Oh, gross.
Nice.
Oh, I
That
have
is much
advantage
better.
on ability checks
Actually,
and saving throw,
Nice.
instead,
which is good.
Go lay down.
there's something. Ah, damn it. Where is it?
Actually, I'll use a thing that I always forget that I have. I'll use lucky.
Hey.
What enough?
And it got worse. Never mind.
I'm going to, instead of my inspiration, I'm going to use
So I got an 8.
magical guidance, and I will spend a sorcery point to re-roll it,
All right.
and I have to keep the new one. So
Okay.
no, that
Wow,
is a
you used
17.
okay. You used inspiration because you rolled a
No,
1 and you still
no, no,
rolled
no,
bad? Oh, okay.
no. I just used magical guidance instead
Gotcha.
of inspiration
Gotcha.
because my sorcery points are much more abundant than
That's fair.
inspiration.
Forsyth, you got a 22. You were ready
Yeah.
for this, sensing that planar travel. Evangeline, what did you get?
I had a flash of genius,
Oh, awesome. Did Buckley?
and I got a 21.
Nice.
Buckley got a. Hold on.
He fell down.
No, I didn't fall down. Buckley got a 25.
Buckley fall down, go boo.
Buckley's got a good dexterity.
Yeah, Buckley's pretty good. You feel a tremor.
Unlike
Under-
me, who only has 2 points of contact to the ground, he has 4.
Fair.
That's fair. You sense a tremor, and with this tremor, Forsyth, you were kind of prepared for it already. Evangeline, you're like, oh, wait, and you kind of steady yourself with Buckley, who's not going anywhere with his 4 feet. And so you guys are fine. Fix, you feel that tremor and you start to fall a little bit, and you manage to step back and catch yourself. Like you were not prepared for this. Kadeth, neither were you. You fell on your butt. That tremor knocked you over.
And we felt another tremor. Oh.
Right? And the tremor itself didn't feel like an earthquake like you have experienced before. It felt
I
like
feel
a
the earth
ripple.
move.
It came from where she landed in that sword, and it
Oh,
rippled
the she.
outward. Yeah, it looks like a she. Long, gray hair, pale skin, dark eyes, black wings, long sword that is black, slammed into the ground. She's wearing red with red sashes and things of that nature, red wrapped arms, and her armor appears to be a plate mail.
Is that you, Stephanie?
And she's wearing a crown with a ruby in, or a helm with a ruby like on the forehead. And she slams that sword down, watches it all ripple, and she just stands there, intimidating.
I look at the sword and turn to Kadeth and look at him and say, "Is this another relative?"
I'm just going to say out loud, how can we help you?
You are muted, dear.
Yeah, I'm just looking at her like, yeah, she just thinks she's special because she has a big sword. And I'll stand up casually, brush myself off, and then just have my sword appear in my hand like usual.
I will not speak to her at all because I have a very bad charisma.
I
Does she
mean,
have?
it could work in your favor. I don't know.
I am though.
Does she have a holy symbol on her?
Roll me perception. I'll even give you advantage on this.
Okay, I needed it. Thank you.
Because I know what you're looking for.
24.
24. You are looking for it, and you are indeed going to find it. She has a symbol of Velsharoon hanging on her neck.
Oh, joy.
And
Well, that answers that question.
I still say,
She is not
how
protecting.
can we help you?
She is protecting the location of Shaji so it don't come back.
I'm
Right.
I'm just looking at her and, hi, what's your name?
She will not respond.
Come on, I like to know who people are if I'm going to kill them.
In response to your questions, you will see the flash of the ruby, and it is going to emit a red and white aura that passes out, kind of like that ripple. And I need everybody to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
This one I'm better at.
oh my god.
Rhonda's
Likewise.
going, crap.
And I get
Wisdom?
advantage, so
Wisdom I can do.
That was a good roll, but
I got a 6 and a 1, so 17.
All right, that's better.
17, nice.
That
With
was
your
with the
6
6.
and-
25.
I got a
Nice.
20.
I got a 17.
And does Buckley roll wisdom saving throws?
No.
He can't be affected by wisdom.
Well, I guess it
Doesn't have
depends
a
on what
wisdom
the
score.
He doesn't have
the
a wisdom
effect
score.
is.
Okay.
What's the effect?
It is sight based, and you are all looking at her.
He cannot
the-
be surprised. That's
Oh, this
I
is
can't be
not a
surprised either.
surprise.
no. Okay.
Well,
He can't be
Interesting.
charmed.
okay. That's probably closer. That's probably why. Okay, it's probably a little bit more of a charm effect. But all of you passed. You get a sense, and you kind of push back on the mental hold almost. It was almost like she was trying to hold you there mentally. It would cause you to be incapacitated for a minute. But you all succeeded on that save.
So how far is she in front of me?
Yeah, same.
She is as 20 feet.
Oh, okay, so she's actually within range.
So
I'm going to
go
take a
ahead
step
and
forward.
roll me initiatives unless you're planning on not doing any combat.
Oh no, she's dead.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
she's getting hurt badly.
20.
Oh, I don't have any initiatives going on here. Okay, I'll just write the initiatives because this is a single creature here. I'm not going to pull it up in Owlbear. All right. Fix
20.
20. Kadeth.
And you have the D8.
Yep,
by the way.
16.
Foresight. I think the key is to remind him he has the D8 after he rolls the 20.
Well,
All right.
it's for me to
19.
actually pull it out later
19.
after I've already rolled.
Evangeline.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got a 20.
Okay. And does Foresight give you anything other than maybe not surprised and you get an advantage on initiative or something?
Well, you get there's advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, saving throws,
Oh, okay.
and they would have disadvantage on attacking me.
Okay.
Jody's super excited about having disadvantage on her attack rolls.
Woohoo! Because yeah, I roll. Oh my gosh, you all rolled so
Briefcase.
good. Doggone it. I even rolled high. All right.
Those dice, maybe that die.
Fix and Evangeline, you both rolled a 20. Who would like to
Evangeline,
go
you can
first?
My dexterity is a +1.
Mine is a +0.
Oh well, okay.
I'm just in very heavy armor.
Okay.
My stout dwarven self can run in it like I wasn't wearing anything.
We don't want to picture that. Thank you.
The beautiful thing is that you already have.
So we are relatively close to her.
Yes, I'd say all of you are within 30 feet.
I'm going to move in.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my magical greatsword.
Okay.
That is
Okay, he's
a
cracked
26 to hit.
26
crunching.
will hit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be your dad crunching.
That would
and
be
crackling.
a 25 to hit.
Sorry.
Wrong weapon. 25 to hit.
25 still hits.
Okay. And I'm going to do an arcane jolt with it.
Okay, what does that do?
It adds 4d6 to the damage.
4d6, okay.
No, 46.
No, 4d6.
No, it's 46. Listen to
If you
what
got
I'm
40,
saying.
46 from 4d6, that is nice.
That is pretty cool. I don't know how you math, but I like how you math.
I need to separate all my dice before I sit down to play.
I mean, sometimes it's helpful. Me, it doesn't really matter. I only have one set in my thing.
Pop out to me.
All you have to do is slam your hand down on top of all of your dice if you're looking for d4s.
And if it don't hurt, it's a
Oh
6-sider.
no, you're looking for yeah. If it doesn't hurt, it's a 6-sider. Maybe a 12-sider, but
Okay, I like that dice. 6.
Oh, can I do that?
29 points
of
slashing damage from a magical weapon.
okay. I'm gonna assume all of your weapons are magical. I believe that all of your weapons are magical, unless of
Nope.
course Forsyth's in a shape.
Not all of my mad weapons are magical. I mean, I have a hand axe.
Well, I don't think you're gonna attack her with a hand axe. How much damage was that?
29 points
29.
of
Okay,
slashing.
Just gonna throw my hand axe at her and hope I hit.
go for it.
Buckley's gonna move up. And he's gonna do a force empowered rend.
Okay, what does that do?
It's his attack.
It rends.
I've been doing that all along because it's the only attack he has.
Oh, okay. So it's just your regular attack. Okay.
That is a 20.
20 to hit. That will hit.
Okay.
What kind? He does force damage.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Do you want to roll it?
Yep.
Okay.
She's
Maybe.
immune.
That's what the whole point is about.
She said
8
She said
points of force damage.
8 points of force damage. All right. Buckley runs up to ram her, nails her, but it's like hitting a brick wall. Doesn't do anything.
Jody said, "Fuck Bigsby's hand."
Nice.
The only creature I have found that is actually, and I didn't even pick her because of that. I picked her because ooh, I like that.
Nice.
I liked how she looked. I'll show you how she looked. How she looks. I think
I
it's
want to
cool.
see this. That is really cool.
Oh yeah.
Flayed messenger, huh?
Yep, flayed messenger.
Flayed fish.
She's giving you a message.
Wait a minute.
So that was your turn.
How big is she?
She's a huge. Oh, she's a huge celestial.
She gave her message, and now she's gonna be flayed.
She will flay her message.
We're gonna do the flaying and the filleting.
So that was your turn and Buckley's turn, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we go to Fix.
Okay. First, I'm going to use a bonus action and clockwork. Oh, go ahead.
I'm supposed to get 2 attacks.
Oh, well, do your second attack.
Second attack.
You stay out of there.
I'm kind of glad we went back and
26.
rested.
Yeah.
Likewise, I'm sure.
I can't help but hear that in that high-pitched voice. Likewise, I'm sure.
Great movie.
It is a great movie.
For an additional 15 points of slashing damage.
All right.
Now I'm done.
Okay. Fix. What are you doing?
All right. Bonus
Buckley did not
action.
seem to make any impact.
Bonus action. He is going to steal himself, and you will see like clockwork starting to form around him as he enters a trance of order.
Okay.
And then his actual spell, because it has other uses, is going to be Bigby's hand.
Bigby's head. All right. Yeah, it does have lots of other uses. And
And
all of them are screw you uses. And what?
grasping hand. The hand attempts to grapple a huge or smaller creature within 5 feet of it.
Okay, it can grapple a huge creature. All right. This is going to be
I can
fun.
try to.
You can try to. She's got a nice plus.
Yes. So does he. So all right.
Let's
That's a
see.
contested roll.
Yep. It's your strength versus my either strength or dex. Basically.
Right.
I rolled a 28.
That did not work. But that is okay. I can try again next
Casting
time.
time 1 minute. Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, Forsyth got smart and looked at his casting time for
Well,
his foresight.
This I would have needed to know she was there.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
and
a
we
no,
did
ninth
she
say
kind
level.
of
this.
appeared out of nowhere.
It's a
We
ninth
do
level spell.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So is foresight.
Yeah.
Imprisonment.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good
That is
one.
rough.
and we do have our armor of Akathis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that as you were kind of walking up. You got approximately 55 minutes left of it.
Okay.
If I think the battle's going to go that long, I
If
will
this
cast
battle
it. but-
takes that
Right.
long, I'm probably going to be dead.
Visually
right.
says, I ain't got enough health for that.
I'll take 10 turns and cast this if it's going to take that long. Because then we'll be able to kill her at will.
Pretty much. All right, so is that the end of your turn, Fix?
Yep.
Not moving any closer?
Why? So I can bonk her on the head with my non-magic master key?
No, so she can slice you through with her sword. All right, that brings us to
can try.
Forsyth.
Okay. Forsyth is going to he's going to use the sunbeam again.
All right.
So I need a con save.
That is a 22.
Boo hiss. Okay.
I went to Arizona and I touched Jody's dice.
Well, you know, I suddenly started rolling really well. I'm rolling above a 10. This is nice.
Adds 15 points of
Radiant.
radiant damage.
Okay, 15 points. Does not look like it does as much as you had hoped. But it does
Okay.
work. She does take some
work.
damage.
Oh boy. And I am going to change form. The question earth elemental would not make sense.
Probably not.
I don't know if she's going to be immune to fire or not.
Unless your elementals do magical damage. I don't know how high you have to be
I
for
believe
as
they
a
do,
druid,
but I'm not sure.
because you're 19th level.
Right.
Because most things are not immune to magical attacks
Right.
like that.
So let's
Bludgeoning,
go.
slashing, piercing of magical
Yeah.
attacks.
I'm going to go with the fire just because there's a possibility she's not
Okay.
immune to that. and but I mean that was my attack, and that's my bonus action is to change form.
Just
So
to change form. Okay.
yeah, so I'm actually going to hold position
All
20
right.
feet away.
That is going to make it. You held position. Rhonda, you're up there in melee, right?
Yep.
Okay. Vix, you held position. Kadeth.
All right. First I'm gonna do Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
And move
Get
up
up in her face.
closer to
All
her. And then I'm going to, well, actually, before I even get closer to her, I mean, I Hexblade's Curse first, and then I'm going to cast Feeble Mind. So I need an intelligence save.
That is a 23.
Dang it. I needed you to roll below a 19.
Yes, so did I, but obviously good stats.
Because below a 19, her charisma and intelligence go to 1. And she
That
can't
wouldn't be
cast
cool.
spells.
That would not be cool.
No, it depends on your perspective.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll move up to her at this point.
All right, you move up to her. And so you cast a spell. So
And I tell her, see, 2 can play the psychic game.
yes, 2 can play the psychic game.
The sidekick game.
But I'm no
The
sidekick.
sidekick game. The sidekick game.
I'm no sidekick.
All
I
right.
will kick you in the side.
It makes it her turn. Evangeline, you are there. Kadeth, you are there. Buckley is there.
And I'll
Big
make
B's
sure I'm
hand is there,
within,
too.
Big B's hand is also there.
if possible, I'll make sure I'm within 5 feet of both Evangeline and Buckley
Smart.
for reasons.
All right. You see as she swings. Ooh, I wonder what that does. Okay. As she swings, like I just read one of her spells and went, what the heck? I don't even know what that does. All right. She starts to swing and her sword lights up red as she starts to swing at Evangeline first.
I'm going to use my reaction to impose disadvantage on that attack roll.
Darn. That makes it a 20 to hit.
I will use my reaction on shield, which brings my AC up to a 22.
Dang it.
Nice. With the first roll of hit, or the better roll.
Yes.
There we go. Combo defense.
A combo defense. She's gonna take
I
a
will look
swing
at
around.
her and say, it's always nice to have a friend.
All right. Gonna swing around with it still glowing red. Swing around and attempt a second strike at you, Kadeth.
All right.
That's a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Buckley will use his
Okay.
reaction. He has to roll again.
Do I take the lower or just take the second
Yeah.
roll? Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. You might take the second
I was
roll.
to say, is it disadvantage or new roll?
I guess either way, it doesn't matter. It changes it to a
It
22.
imposes a disadvantage.
Okay. It's a 22.
That just barely hits.
Okay.
Right. We're doing
Oh,
pretty good
geez.
up to that point.
She
Could have been
takes
worse.
25 cold
Second
damage.
roll and get a 20.
Oh, geez. 25 cold. Okay.
Yep.
Doesn't look like it do anything.
Did the fire from Forsyth do anything?
He hasn't done anything with fire.
Oh, I thought
Not
he did.
yet.
No, he did
No,
radiant.
I changed into a fire elemental.
Gotcha.
He did do radiant damage, and it did half damage.
Oh wait, before we resolve that, I almost forgot about this. Oh no, I rolled a 2. Okay, it
Okay.
hits.
Hey. All right.
50%
9.
chance it doesn't.
Okay. That is 10
Gotta love
slashing.
the abilities. Okay.
3 psychic.
Okay.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yep. And 21 radiant damage.
Okay,
Oof.
so total of 34. I'll go ahead and use my stone's endurance now, I guess. Which, come on, why is my...
It's radiant
It is radiant.
and slashing
Yep.
And
And
psychic.
psychic.
and psychic.
Hmm.
Where's my thing?
And
12 plus 2.
that is it.
So
That's
I
all her turn.
increase it by 10, so that means
Because
I
I
take
have to look up this other one.
24
Like, dude, what
damage.
does that do?
total. Well, I still have 1 point of my shield, my thing left, my armor of Agathis. So
Nice.
it's what I was hoping for. Is keeping that running for one more turn. So she did take 25 cold from that.
She was immune.
Oh,
She
she
was
was
immune.
immune?
It
Yep.
didn't seem to do anything.
Darn. Then I'm just gonna have to hit her harder with other stuff.
And that all came from her sword slice, right?
Yep.
You. I know you're strong, Evangeline. I don't think you can wield a huge sword. A literal huge sword.
I think she has a huge sword strapped to her back, don't you?
She has a great sword.
I don't want
Oh,
her
okay, a
sword.
great sword. Gotcha. That's true. Well, I mean, if it's
That's not
magical,
why
it'll
I'm
reduce.
asking.
I think it's Evangeline's go.
Back to the top. Yes, Evangeline.
Okay. First thing I'm going to do, that was a lot of radiant damage. I'm going to tap and make myself resistant to radiant.
Nice.
That was a lot of radiant damage.
It was a lot of
Can you tell
radiant.
what her major damage is?
And then I'm going to swing my sword twice. The first one is a 31 to hit. Second one is a 27 to hit.
Yep, yep.
I'm going to use another arcane jolt on one of those swings.
Okay. What does the arcane jolt do?
That's 46. 46 extra points of damage.
Oh, of the same damage type?
Yeah, it's all slash.
Okay. Okay, that's what I was like, I don't recall reducing it or anything. So I was like, shoot, what was that damage type?
Oh, I can definitely do that. Okay, when I run out of these 2 spells. She was good at intelligence.
She's been good at intelligence. She's been good at strength. She's been good at con.
But is that luck going to hold?
And is she good, or did I just roll high?
Yeah.
For 38 points of slashing damage from a magical weapon.
That's both attacks.
That's both attacks and my arcane jolt.
And your jolt. Okay. All right. You're being effective.
Let's see.
What is Buckley doing? Or does
Not
Buckley
running into the brick wall?
not running into the brick wall? Standing close to Kadeth, apparently.
Yes. Standing close.
All right. Is he just going to take up a defensive type thing?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to take up patient defense.
Patient defense. With his 2 hooves. All right. I need that artwork. I totally need that artwork. All right, that brings us to fix.
All right. I'm going to cast it upward since she's like 20 feet in the air or whatever.
How big is she?
Oh no, she's
Huge.
at the ground. She's not tall.
Right, but her head is 20 feet.
Oh
in the
yes, her head is 20 foot
She's
in the air.
huge.
air.
Yeah, she's huge.
Yay.
Oh, do you get something special with huge creatures?
Well, no, I can just. There's one particular ability that works. Does an extra thing if they're huge or smaller.
Oh, okay.
So
Bigby is
when I
going
use
to
it.
attempt to grapple her again.
She's gonna attempt to grapple again.
Let me know what you end up with.
Not today, Big B. That was a nat 20 for a 25. Nope, yeah, nat 20 for a 25.
Can you nat
Wait, not a
20 that?
25. That would be a 30.
No,
Can you
that
nat 20 that?
No,
no.
Oh, because I rolled
it's
the
a
same.
skill check.
I think that a tie. I don't know who a tie goes to.
Probably defender.
Um,
I honestly
Tie
don't
always
know.
goes to the defender.
Yeah.
Well, no, because if you tie AC, it goes to the attacker.
Oh, that's true. That is fair.
Mhm.
I'll let you win that one.
Well, I'm trying to find the. I want to actually know.
Can you roll higher than a 30? Is it possible for you to roll higher than a 30?
Yeah, I got a plus 14 on that.
I'll let you win.
Oh,
I can only roll a 30. That's my max.
oh Lord. All right, then she is grappled. Yes, so she is grappled, and then from myself, I need an intelligence saving throw.
That is a 25.
Silvery barbs.
Oh, you flippin'. Well, that one was not nearly as good. That was a 12.
She fails as synaptic shot hits her. She takes how much? 86. Wait, that's why that's not doing well. She takes 34 points of, I believe it's psychic damage. Let me double check for you.
Yeah, double
Yes.
check.
Yes.
All right.
Psychic damage.
You see her twitch.
Okay. But the
It does
real
not take effect.
it doesn't
No,
affect her.
no, psychic damage does not affect her. But she failed the save, so if there's another effect, it's possible that
is.
still affect her.
She has muddled thoughts for 1 minute. During that time, she rolls a d6 and subtracts the number rolled from all of its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
You little. Okay.
You can make an intelligence saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay. All right.
And Kadath now has advantage on his attack.
All right.
all right.
She's at a minus d6. Let me pull out my d6. Okay. All right. And that's on attacks and saves or just attacks? Attacks and saves.
That is
right?
on attack rolls and ability checks, as
Oh,
well as
ability
Constitution
checks.
saving throws.
And
So
con. Okay.
when she's trying to break loose of that grapple, she gets to just subtract that d6.
Yeah, because it's a strength check. Okay.
Yep.
Because it's not a save.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when Jody will roll bad. She'll roll a 1 on her 6.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right. Does that end your turn?
I believe it does. I think I can't do it.
You grappled with big beasts. You shot
Yeah, I can't do the other
silvery
thing until next.
barbs. You did the
Yep, that is everything.
other thing. Okay.
I could move, but I'm not going to.
You should move closer.
Mhm.
Brings us to Forsyth.
Okay, Forsyth is immediately going to move in,
All right.
and he is going to do 2 slam attacks,
right.
or touch attacks. They're called.
2 touch attacks.
Right.
All
So
right.
first attack is 19 to hit.
19 just misses.
Okay, so let me clear that. That is a shame because the other one's even worse.
Ah. So you missed both of yours.
So I still don't know whether or not it's going to be effective.
You're right. You still don't know if it's going to be effective. The heat emanating off of you does not seem to bother her.
Yeah.
That brings us to oh wait, unless you want to do something else. You attacked, you moved, you attacked. Is there any bonus actions you want to do?
I don't believe so. I can only
Okay.
use the sunbeam if I use a turn as
Okay.
an action.
Gotcha. All right. Kenneth.
All right. Oh, wait, I need to double check one thing I almost forgot about. Where is it? Okay, it's still considered a spell. Okay. I needed to make sure something was a spell, not an ability, because of the whole casting two things.
No, it did not recharge.
Right. So.
We know.
Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and try this one because we might be able to get some good damage in on her, if so. All right, mental prison. I need an intelligence save.
Intelligence save.
The D6 would not affect that, unfortunately.
That was flipping high. That's a 26.
Jeez.
I rolled a natural 20.
Quit rolling those. What the heck? All right, well, she still takes 5d10.
Okay.
10, 20.
What kind of damage?
36 psychic.
Okay, she seems unaffected.
Really?
Yeah, she's not taken any psychic damage.
Okay. Has she taken necrotic?
We've not tried.
Nobody's tried.
All right, well.
You just assumed that she
Next
was maybe
next
immune.
thing up was necrotic.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. She is going to slam her foot into the ground.
She's grappled.
Yes, but she's not moving.
Ah.
I need a Constitution saving throw from everybody. Except for Bigby's hand, because obviously it's not on the ground.
Is this the stay upright?
Using my DM inspiration.
No. No, that one was a dexterity saving throw. That hasn't recharged yet.
Okay.
What do we wait, you said what? Sorry.
Constitution saving throw.
18.
Using my inspiration.
Nice.
15.
15. All right.
It's better than the 7.
I'm decent at con. So, yeah, that's 27.
Nice. Wait, what did you get, Forsyth?
15.
15. Okay. What did you
That's
get
my
eventually?
lowest score.
Oh, jeez.
I got a 26. Buckley got a 25.
Okay.
Other than charisma.
He got
Yeah.
a 23.
Okay. Forsyth, you did fail this. Everybody
well.
else passed. The DC was 16.
Oh, wait. I forgot. I get advantage.
Well, then roll it again. See if you get higher than a 15. If that's your lowest,
Yeah.
hopefully you will. The DC is 16. You just need to roll above a 1.
Yeah. No, I didn't get higher.
All right. You're gonna get the full blast then, unless you're immune to something. Well, or maybe not, because I rolled bad damage. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of thunder damage for Scythe.
Okay, let me see.
Kadeth, Evangeline, and Fix take half.
How much are we
13.
taking?
So
Half of
6.
14.
6.
6 thunder.
Oh, wait. I just noticed something.
What?
Instead of a +2, I get a +3
Oh,
because
so
of
you
the
did
fire
pass.
elemental. Yeah.
So you did pass. So you get 6 points of thunder.
Okay.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And everybody takes 9 points of radiant,
Okay, hold on here.
Oh, okay.
except for
Which is-
Evangeline.
Which is
It
5.
takes 4.
4.
Yeah, because you half it again.
So
Half round down.
6 and 9 is 15.
Yes.
Okay, how much am I taking?
Total 15, split
Okay.
between thunder and radiant.
Okay.
Let me make sure I'm not.
Darn.
No, there's no. Some of these have immune or the opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susceptibilities.
Yeah.
I need
Fix
to start damaging
smirks
her.
as there's a shield that sort of shimmers around him.
Has it absorbed some of that energy?
All of it, yes.
All of it? Nice. She's giving you the evil eye at this point, Fix.
Actually, you know what? Hellish Rebuke.
What does Hellish Rebuke do? It just damages back,
Yeah.
right? No save though.
Yep.
Okay.
10,
With what type of damage?
Whatever
It's
type
fire.
that she's not
18,
immune or
26.
resistant to.
So 36 fire.
Fuck. 36 fire?
Yeah.
Okay, it seems to take no effect.
Oh my gosh. What is she not immune to? What the crap?
Piercing, slashing, and damaging. And
Okay,
bludgeoning.
You know what?
Magical.
Well, I guess I can still try the
Actually, she's not immune to a few others, but obviously Evangeline is doing some work.
should I skip the necrotic on my turn? What do
I
you guys
mean, she
think?
is from Belcheroon.
It might heal her.
Right? Right, we're going. You know what? I'm gonna skip it. I got something else I can do.
All right. That was her turn. That's the action that she could do. And she is given Fix the evil eye because
I wink at her.
he's caused the most trouble to her at the moment. That brings us back to the top with Evangeline.
Let me keep on.
She's
Oh. The first one was a 20. The last one was a 17.
20 hits. Just hits. She's AC 20.
I will do another arcane jolt.
if I had any way to hit her with slashing or whatever, I couldn't miss her right now.
You could not miss her.
Because of the trance. Anything 9 or lower, I count
20
as a
points
10.
of slash. Nope, 25 points of slashing damage. I forgot to add.
25.
26.
I forgot that you're doing 26.
Yeah.
All right.
We've tried fire,
jeez.
force, cold,
Psychic.
psychic.
Yep.
Not
Fire,
necrotic yet.
fire,
And
force,
radiant.
cold, and psychic. She's all immune to. Radiant, she seems to be
She was
resistant.
resistant to.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, it's about all that's left of me
Wait,
for right
force?
now until I change 4.
You
Force,
said she's
she's
immune
immune.
immune to force?
Yep.
That's almost like that never happens. What the heck?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
It's
I was
one
pretty
powerful.
excited to read that after I brought her out.
And I was
like,
going to use
oh,
something with
crap.
force.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast is useless against her.
Yep.
That means
All right.
almost everything I do is useless against her.
Well, your attacks aren't. Your sword's not.
Unless she's takes necrotic. It's the only things I got left that she's not immune to.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Anything
sword
else,
does
Evangeline?
barely any damage. It's
So Evangeline, wait, where are we? We are on Evangeline, right?
Yes, I just
And
took
you
my
just did
turn.
your turn.
I am not going to move.
Okay, and Buckley's just staying put.
Buckley's doesn't work, so there's no
Okay.
point in him busting his head open.
Slamming into a wall. Ka, ka.
See, I can't
All right.
do damage that hurts her except for very basic sword.
Yeah, she's a pain in the butt.
She is a
Um,
creature from Velsharoon.
Yes, and we're level 19. This is the
Funny.
fun part.
Hey, I've done how much damage so far?
115, just about. 6.
All right. Bonus
Even
action.
if I had been using my sword the whole time, I would have done like 20.
I mean, some
total.
of that was Forsyth radiant damage, but I don't remember exactly how much of that was.
Not much. Not enough.
Well, bonus action. Big B's hand is going to crush her.
Ouch.
For that's 9. 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
And we count this as magical?
It's a magical
Okay.
thing.
I'm
yeah,
just okay. That's fine.
yeah.
Magically
All right.
delicious.
14
from a
bludgeoning
It's bludgeoning coming from a
from
spell.
from a spell. Yeah.
And then you see Fix kind of lift his hand as he starts to cast Firebolt, but as it leaves his hand, it turns green and turns into acid
All right.
to see if that works.
Do you
I
want to
wish you
roll
would have
damage,
tried
or
for
do you want me to
necrotic.
just tell you?
Okay, she's immune to acid.
She's immune
That's
to
fine.
acid.
That is
She's-
absolutely fine. I'm just
Maybe I
whittling
should have
down the
started
possibilities.
going in for imprisonment.
Well, we're on like round 4.
Yeah, it only takes a minute.
You
Right.
blast her with acid, and she kind of smirks at you, even though she's being crushed by Big B's hand. Does that
she smirks and I kind of shrug. I'm like, you still can't do anything. And that is my turn. Actually, no. I'm gonna back up 30 feet.
just to be on the safe side?
Yep.
All right, you back up 30 feet. Evangeline, you already went Fix. Forsyth. You did see the fire damage come out of Kadeth, and it did nothing.
Right. One clarification.
Yeah.
If I transform.
Yeah.
Whether through shape change or a wild shape or a polymorph spell, would the damage be effective if it's bludgeoning?
As far as you can tell, it should be, as long as it's magical.
Right. Well, because changing into a creature that's just going to run her over, it's still a magical creature because it was through a spell. I'm just curious what the rolling
Well,
is
if
on
you're
that.
being polymorphed or shape changed, it doesn't change the attack unless you have a special ability.
Right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you actually become that creature. So it won't be magical unless, like, wild shape, at some point your attacks become magical, I believe. But I don't know if that's not until level 20 or if that starts earlier. That might not be until level 20.
I don't know. So there's not much I can do right now other than okay. I will just
spell going.
Yeah, I will go with the spell that's still going.
Yeah.
And so it's like third round of that, and so I need a con save.
Con save.
Okay.
Minus the d6.
Yep.
Oh, that's lovely. 17.
That's
a 22.
Okay. Well, then half damage, so 14 points, and half of that's
right.
7. So,
that's 7.
but it's something.
I mean, you're whittling her down. She's not been able to do a whole lot of what I want to do.
Actually, at level 6, your strikes while in your beast form are magical.
Okay, so you
Oh.
have magical piercing, slashing,
Yeah, but
bludgeoning.
the problem is I'm a I can only go into one elemental at this level.
Okay.
20th level I can go into more, but at this level I can only do
That's
one elemental.
That is fair.
Oh,
Okay.
So tempted.
So I'm
Alright,
stuck.
so take some radiant damage. That's all right. You're there. If she wasn't
I'm keeping
grappled,
form
she'd
because
hit
of
you
the hit
too.
points.
Yeah.
She hasn't
Uh,
Oh, I have
hardly
a
hurt
combo
me.
that might work, but
okay, Kadeth. You're up.
I have a combo that might work, but it would depend on her failing a charisma save. It'd make it easy to kill her. We could literally just poke her to death afterwards.
What's that?
Banishment, and then while she's banished, start casting imprisonment. Release banishment right before our imprisonment's done.
So she'd have to fail 2 saves.
No, because of it's a charisma and then a wisdom.
And
Are both of these concentration?
Nope. Imprisonment is not concentration because it lasts until dispelled.
Interesting.
and then and don't forget, Jody, you get a save versus my synaptic shock at the end of your
forgot about
round.
that.
Oh, wait, synaptic shock.
That
What
was
kind
it.
of damage is that?
It was psychic.
It was
Oh,
psychic.
is psychic working?
It didn't do any damage, but the
Oh,
other
okay.
effects took place. It was intelligence, right?
Correct. And you would
Okay.
still minus the d6.
Well, shoot. Maybe I should do
Uh,
synaptic
no, not on
static.
oh, not on the
Yeah,
save.
no. Correct.
That would be a 24.
All right, then it is gone.
Sweet.
I could always do synaptic static. It's similar.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Synaptic static, not
okay.
synaptic shock.
The question is, do I do Finger of Death or do I just try poking her at this point?
What kind of damage is Finger of Death?
Necrotic, the
poking.
one type we haven't tried.
Do you have another way to try without wasting a spell slot?
That doesn't waste a spell slot.
Or you can just
Oh.
run up and swing at her.
It's a Mystic Arcanum.
Hmm.
So it's just
Slice through Big B's
a
head.
one-time use per rest, basically.
I mean, you could try. It might help.
Might as well.
Mhm.
All right, con save. See if Jody can actually roll low enough for once. All these 20s
Not
she's
so far.
rolling tonight.
That is a 23.
Nope, Jody doesn't know how to roll low tonight. What is going on?
Doesn't it still do damage though?
I don't know. Let's see.
If it's psychic or
It's
Necrotic.
necrotic.
if it's
Half as much.
if it's
but-
necrotic, she will take no effect.
Okay, so
God.
she's immune
So
to.
if there's
So,
something else,
Literally, the only
affects
damage
her,
that I can do is
that would be
slashing.
different.
Yeah.
That is literally the only damage type I have. That
You're gonna hate these stats. I tell you these stats. All right.
because this is ridiculous.
that is
This
your
is
turn.
where we're at.
Yeah, but there's nothing even in the regular
It is
monster manual that does
her turn.
this.
It is her turn. She is going to try to break free of Big B's hand. She's had enough of
Okay.
this.
I can roll with you there.
I hope you roll really, really poorly because that was really, really poor. That was a 16.
Yeah, I didn't roll that poorly. I have
That
a
was
plus
bad.
14, so that would be a 2
Yeah.
or higher.
I need you to roll that low
No, not that low.
because I rolled nearly that low. All right.
But hey, that was her action.
That was her action. She has nothing else that she's going to be doing yet. Oh, she needs to see if that recharges. Nope, not yet. That's her turn. She's getting very frustrated with this Big B's hand.
I'm getting very frustrated with all her immunities. I've cast 4 different spells that do nothing to her,
Hey, you keep poking, you keep trying.
and they're all different damage types.
Yeah.
You know, a radiant is half damaged,
She has the one immunity that nobody ever has.
and magical bludgeoning piercing, and slashing seems to be working because Evangeline's doing damage.
Yeah, but that's my least damaging thing that I possibly can do. Which is why I don't do it until everything else is gone.
Yep.
That's why I have everything else.
I'm just wondering if there is an element of any type that she can be affected by.
She's immune to a lot of elements.
Yep.
They
But we can
literally
keep
out of,
trying.
let's see, 1, 2, 3,
Evangeline, you
4,
taking your attacks?
5
Boo boo.
things.
Yep.
AC
They're all
20.
different.
I got a 30 and a 20.
Sweet.
I gotta find 2 more. I'm just gonna roll them all at once.
She is a creature of Velsharoon. Keep reminding you.
Mm.
Okay,
Do
well,
we
I have
know
nothing that
what-
does holy damage.
Don't need holy damage. You have a sword.
Yeah?
Your
The Raven
blade-
Queen's sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thing is I can keep going for a lot of rounds.
Yes.
I
you can
I,
keep
I
going
think she's
for a
trying to
long
hint
time.
that you should try to stab her.
Sure.
I'm thinking about that. But I was waiting till I lost a lot more hit points.
And she is starting to look pretty hurt here, actually.
That was a good roll. That is 44 points of slashing damage from a magical weapon.
Must be nice to be able to get that much damage on your weapon.
I'm running out of arcane jolts.
Mine is
Well,
literally a
that-
D8 plus 8. That's
she is doing more than one hit. She's just adding it all together.
I get 2
And
attacks
she's
per
using-
round.
She's using a limited resource to get extra damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
see.
Yes, that too.
See, my limited resources that do extra damage, she's immune to.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
I
a
have-
fair.
caster.
I have
She's
multiple
immune
of them, and then she's immune to all of them.
That's fair. Force or fix. It's your turn.
Well, first Bigby's hand is going to squeeze. Hey, that's not bad. That's
Actually, I guess unless my Hexblade's curse would hurt on everything else she's taken, but
that's 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
well, it's just a bonus to damage rolls, so whatever type I'm already rolling.
So whatever type you're rolling, which is
No,
that's basically what Rhonda's doing. She's
Even
adding
casting
whatever
Hex
damage
is going to
she's
be
already doing.
pointless. Yeah, but Hexblade's curse is 6.
Thunder or poison? Thunder or poison?
Probably not going to hurt her either way,
Doesn't
so
matter. It's
doesn't
not gonna
matter.
hurt her either way.
Hey, I'm gonna go through it and find out what it is.
Which one?
If she
one?
let's try poison.
All right.
Do I roll it?
Well, is it an attack or a save or?
I can't miss her.
Oh, that's right, because you went into that trance.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, sweet. Yes. The firebolt turns into a darker shade of green now. Oh. That is 31 points of poison damage.
All right, with 31 points of poison damage, it doesn't seem to take as much as you thought.
Okay, but it still takes something.
She is resistant to poison.
Ooh, only resistant.
Hey,
Hey,
it's something.
after all of these immunities, Forsyth.
Okay,
Yeah, I can't do
Forsyth
anything
is going to
poison.
continue with his
Radiant.
radiant.
which
So
is a con save.
it's a con save.
It is
Right.
a con save. That's a
Yeah.
22.
That it seems to be pretty consistent. Wait a second. One thing I want to check real quick. Yeah, they have, let's see, disadvantage on attack rolls, but not on saves. Okay, no problem. So half damage is 17. So quarter damage is 8.
8. All right. Kadeth.
All right, guess
But
I'm gonna
it's
swing
damage.
the sword.
She's not hurting me.
No, she's not hurting you. She's not hurting anybody right now. She's a little stuck with Bigby's.
And luckily, I do have advantage on my first hit, so
Let me
Y'all.
see how long that lasts. I don't know.
well, it's been like 3 rounds or 2 rounds.
Right, but I don't know if it's.
I thought it was
before
just the
Oh,
next
is
hit,
it just
next attack. Either way, I didn't roll a natural.
within
20
1
on
minute.
the
Yep,
die.
you're good.
Okay,
okay?
so it's a 31 to hit on
That hits.
that.
You have 2 attacks, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a whole 17.
All right. Seems to be very effective.
And oh, this one's actually a crit.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, that's not much. That's
might
an extra
actually
8
kill her.
damage. So 27 or no, 29.
But it sounds like she may be vulnerable to your attacks.
Just enough. Actually, you went 10 over her hit points. How do you
Yeah, I
want to
was
do
so
this?
so frustrated that I just said, you know what? Enough with this playing around. And I just chop her head off. I jump up in the air and chop her head off.
All right. While you when you jump up in the air, you're just getting very angry, very frustrated. As you go to swing your sword, also.
And I'm like dropping my shield as I jump to just
all
chop
right,
her head off.
you use the full force behind it, and as you go to swing through her, your sword also flares red as you slice through to slice off her head. You definitely feel a surge from the stone in its hilt. You feel a surge as you swing through, but you got a surge from the Raven Queen because you were fighting a creature of Velsharoon. And it was doing double damage.
Still barely as much as Rhonda was doing.
And as her head falls to the ground, her whole body goes limp in Bigby's hand and begins to turn to ash and smoke.
Does the
Before
sword
it
stay there?
Um,
Good.
I don't know. Does the sword stay there? I'm about 50-50 on it. Yes, it appears that her sword and her armor both stay there. Just her physical body. And the sword and the armor clank, clank, clank.
Before she dissipates, Bigby's hand is gonna pull a the way that Hulk did to Loki, smashing her into the ground back and forth.
Minus the head.
It does what? Oh, you do the calf, bam, bam. Yeah, yeah. And every time,
I was giving the visual.
yeah, every time she hits the ground, more smoke and ash kind of just. You get about 3 or 4 hits, and there's nothing to hold on to anymore.
I'm gonna go over and pick up the sword.
All right. You pick up the sword, and you instantly feel just evil emanating from the sword, like just
Drop it,
sheer
drop it,
evil.
drop it.
Oh no, I was gonna do something else with it.
Don't let Jody have it.
I'll let Jody have it.
Yeah, all of my characters pick up cursed swords.
Actually,
I
what
did that once.
what I was going to do with it is
Yes.
start casting commune.
With the sword. Oh no.
Well, I'm going to take her sword, jam it in the ground in front of me,
Okay.
She's not. I don't
Oh,
think he wants to commune
okay.
with Bell.
You don't
No.
want to commune with the sword. You want to commune with the
I'm
Raven
going to commune
Queen.
with the Raven Queen while I've got the sword here, and I'm going to ask her to basically anti-curse or bless it in her name.
Consecrate.
Consecrate. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Oh, you want her to consecrate.
I want her to turn this sword to our benefit.
Cleanse that sword.
Cleanse the sword. All right.
I'm basically asking her to do to this sword what she did to my sword.
All right. She is going to.
So I know that takes a minute to do the commune, but
all right. As she does that, and you guys look around the area, you do see an area in the smooth stone that will fit your rod. That will fit your rod fix. Just so you know. Kadeth, as you cast commune, I'm going to narrate this real fast so that we can get off of here for real.
I didn't realize how
Yeah.
quick it is.
I'm thinking right now I probably should just stay awake until Ben gets here.
I mean, we're only 15 minutes right now. Anyway, so Kadeth, as you cast this commune, you feel the Raven Queen wrap herself around you with like her cloak. It feels more like feathers, but she wraps herself around you, and you see her hands reach out. They look like raven claws, is what her hands look like. She reaches out and kind of grabs the sword this way, and grabs a hold of it, pulls it up, and pulls it towards you, and then shoves it into you, and it disappears. Everybody sees that sword move and just shove right into Kadeth and disappear. You don't even. You're like, what the? What?
Not stabbing, just
No,
vertically.
just vertically. It's like it went into his body.
He takes baths in blood. It's not a big surprise. It's nothing like
Weird things happen all the time around
kinds of
me.
weird
That's
stuff.
fair.
like
That's fair.
This is just a Tuesday. Come on.
It's a Tuesday.
like are you done with your weird stuff now, Kadath?
You feel.
I'm gonna be sketching in my book, in my book of the near.
Oh, good. It'll be neat to see what this looks like from the outside.
So you feel that your sword has been combined with this sword.
Oh. Dang. Okay.
All right. I will give you the stats on that later. We are 15 minutes over, and Rhonda needs to go to bed.
I have to get up at 10 minutes till 5.
So you are at the base of where Shaji should be. Looking across the smooth stone, Fix has found a hole that will fit the rod of Gond that he has. So that's a try. You defeated a messenger of Velsharoon that was obviously sent here to keep anybody from messing with Shaji, because why return Shaji? That messes with his plans.
And message sent back. We don't
message
care what
has
you
been
think.
sent back. And Kadeth seems to have received blessings upon his sword with the sword that was left behind. And that is where we're going to stop for tonight. And if you're still watching, thanks for hanging out with us and watching through the whole episode. And be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you know when we are live. And like and share this video. Hit like button. Crit the like button. You can do it. Trust me.
Or just gently caress it, whichever you prefer.
I guess.
I don't know. Pound that thing.
Pound it. It's not getting better, guys. Okay. If you would like to know what we're up to and where we're going, visit our website at dndaddjokes.com, where you can get our upcoming events, what conventions we're going to be at, and things like that. And keep an eye out.
And if you
for our
figure out
new
what we're up
campaign.
to, please tell me.
Yeah, if you find out what we're up to, just let us know. And I I think that's it. You can check out any of our other social medias. There's links in the description. There is also links on our website. We're not nearly as active on those, but you can join us and follow us and things like that, so that you do get those notifications if you'd like. Um, but I think that's it. So
And remember, if you come across somebody with a big sword from Valsharoon, piercing, slashing,
And that's all that
a
will work.
magical weapon. That's all that works.
But take their sword when you're done. Carefully.
So carefully, yes, carefully take their sword when you're done. So I think that is it for tonight, and have a good week. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.